Hi, I'm Alec. This is Trev, and welcome to episode 16 of Beanscast. Also, we have an AJ here today. He's in the middle. On
It's
Beanscast, we discuss coffee, politics, video games, and whatever else is destroying our brains this past week. If you like hearing us talk about those things, oh my god, I didn't pre-read this. Hit the hecking subscribe button. So you know when we post the new episode. We like to start every episode by talking about what we're drinking today. So, Trev, what are you drinking and what is wrong with you?
What's
Maybe
not
the
wrong
answer
with
to
me?
that
It's
is
a
both
short
the
list.
same.
Well, I'm drinking coffee and water. I don't think coffee's the problem, though. I refuse to believe that.
No, hydration is always the problem.
Hydration is always the answer, actually. How dare
Oh,
you?
Yeah,
How
but
dare you?
coffee's kind of the opposite of that, if you think.
Yeah,
about
it's true. It's a diuretic. It do be
It's
making
not
you
that
gotta
much
pee.
of a diuretic. It's not so much
No,
that
it
it
doesn't.
negates all of the water.
It's a net hydration.
Hence the
It's a net
kinda.
hydration.
Hence
Yeah,
the
that's true.
kinda. But
That's
like,
true.
if the goal is hydration, don't drink coffee.
There's more efficient means. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. That's why I pair it with the water. That's why I pair it with the water. Goes so well with it. Alec, what are you drinking?
I am also just drinking water, but I promise I had lots of coffee today because I worked. So there was
I'll drink
espresso shot
coffee.
tasting,
I refuse.
brewed coffee tasting, and I drank a screwed up drink at one point. So, you know, it's fine.
I
AJ,
drank
you got water or
It's
something?
gone. It's gone
No.
now.
No more water. No mas.
No bean drink. I'm sorry about no bean drinks. All right. So we have an AJ here. Funny enough,
Which can only mean one thing.
Not to talk about Pokemon though. Like not
What?
initially.
True. Yeah, this was already discussed. Well, I discussed it with Alec before I talked to you about it.
This was
But the PAX thing, like you being
Oh,
PAX,
yeah.
There's a lot of common threads there. So,
But Pokemon was at the top of the list, so we're talking about I didn't mean to not mute that. Hi everybody.
True.
Good morning.
It's because we got a Pokemon trailer.
So many Pokemons. So many pokes, so many mons. Actually only 3, which is
Acceptable.
How do we feel overall about the trailer? Do we like it?
the trailer was fine. Like
Mhm.
granted, I feel like this is just the case for a lot of this game because a lot of this game has felt like just fulfillment of things that I'm like, this is probably it. Like this will probably happen. This was what this trailer was. It was like, okay, yeah, we got the evil team.
Right.
Yeah, okay,
Team
we got
Star.
more Arceus-esque mechanics. Okay, we got some new Pokemon.
Yep.
That checks out. As far as the new Pokemon, I am indifferent. Like they're fine, you know.
The
Like
Mega
I
Mans.
haven't seen the Mega Men. I saw those and I was like, they're fine, but like I definitely didn't have the reaction that a lot of people have, where it's like immediately making my whole team fire types. This is my soul Pokemon. like
This
they're
Pokemon is
fine.
now my personality.
Yeah, like they're
Yeah.
okay.
who would immediately make one Pokemon from a trailer their personality?
About
who would do this? Who would do it?
Yeah. Well, that's true. Yeah. Good point. I was gonna make a Mega Man joke, but you're right. As you wear the sweatshirt,
I wear the already unofficial sweatshirt. I would like to issue a correction already. I said 3 Pokemon. There's 4. There's 4 new Pokemon in this trailer. No.
Oh.
The engine.
Oh, you think that's a Pokemon?
100%.
It does look like it has a face, right?
They released a promotional art image that it has an eye and a tongue coming out.
Yeah.
Which I should have pulled, and I didn't pull.
Did they? Are we calling that? They revealed 4 new Pokemon.
No, I'm saying there's 4 in the trailer.
Yeah, they revealed 3 and teased another one.
Yeah. Also, that little bit right there with the Sunflora, looks like size differences are back. So once they stop moving,
I think they've talked about that. That's already been confirmed, I think.
I think all we know is that the data is still there.
Oh.
I don't think they've confirmed that they're still in the game. But like your Legends Arceus,
now this
still
is
noted.
confirmation.
Yeah.
Which is a W.
Those
I think
textures look good there.
Yeah,
Everyone
think-
complains. This actually looks good.
pretty good.
I think there's only one visual moment that's kind of like, but it's zoomed in at a point that I don't feel like the actual game would be zoomed in. So it doesn't
Right,
bother me.
exactly.
The game 100% is not zooming in.
Yeah,
right.
Um,
It confirmed a lot of stuff that I kind of was hoping to see. I think actually of all the new Pokemon I've seen, Giraffari is the one I'm most excited about. I think that one is like the coolest one.
Grafai?
Oh, Grafai, my bad.
Yeah. I think
That's on
Grafai is
brand
probably
for me.
my
That's
favorite
on
new
brand
one
for me.
too. But even
Yeah.
Grafai, I don't know if I'm going to have it on my team or not.
No, I think of the ones listed so far, it's my favorite.
Mhm.
I wouldn't go out of my way to add it to my team, but I also I'm curious to see what all the new like I definitely don't have any expectations of a team right now,
Yeah, same.
I think
Which is
other
ideal
than
for
like
me.
my starter. Yeah,
Yeah, I'd rather like go into the game and then like find a Pokemon. Oh, what the fuck is that? And then want to catch that off of me seeing it in the game. Not go into the game with a plan of like this is my team of 6 and I'm going to catch this one and then I am like I think that defeats the purpose of playing a new Pokemon game.
it's
Mhm.
so weird since the change of experience share, because it used to be like I'd plan like multiple playthroughs to play through with new Pokemon,
Mhm.
but you can
Mhm.
do that all in one now.
Yeah, which is a huge W.
Yeah.
It's great.
Like that's the point.
Yes.
You don't have to have I can only use these 6 Pokemon to get through this game without making it a horrible grind fest.
Mhm.
Because I
Which
mean,
is so annoying.
even Ash, who notoriously catches one Pokemon every two months max, he even does that. You know, where like he'll have his team of 6 or whatever, and then it's like, oh, but this Pokemon would be better in this
Mhm.
situation, so I want to switch this one in. Or like, I recently caught this Pokemon, I want to spend time with this one. You know, like that sort of thing. Or even further than that, like when there's a new region, he nukes his whole team and is like, all
Yep.
right, new
Starting from
friends,
scratch.
you know, like so I think that the gameplay being able to reflect that experience is cool
Yeah.
and ideal.
Well, and especially if we're moving on to like a more open world game, which also usually
Yeah.
translates to, in some capacities, an endless game.
Mm-hmm.
Like typically
Mhm.
those things go hand in hand. They
Right.
don't want you nuking your playthrough.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
They want you to have
Well, and
time with these Pokemon.
Yep.
if they do the things in any capacity similar to what they did in Sword and Shield too, where I mean they kind of took grinding out entirely after a point, right? Because you can just buy rare candies and stuff and XLs, and
Right.
like you can
Mhm.
just get any Pokemon at any level almost instantly if you just do some max raids, you know,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
even just do some regular raid battles or whatever.
I wouldn't be surprised to see them go even further in that direction because this is another thing that they have progressively been like. It's been clear that they want to take grinding out. Every game since I'd say Black and White has introduced more and more things that makes it easier to level
Mhm.
and EV train and IV train and breed. I don't think that this game will be an exception.
No. If
Good.
anything, like natural segue. Seems like here's an example of them making it even easier. The Let's
Mm.
Go feature.
Mm-hmm.
So your
True,
Definitely.
Pokemon,
which is a strange name.
yes, a very strange name.
Yeah.
Uh Tell your lead Pokemon or whichever Pokemon you have following you, walking with you at the time, to go explore, and they'll find odd items and auto battle and earn experience. So
Mhm. I
it'll
wonder what the experience breakdown will be. Like, do they earn the same amount of experience as they would if you were battling with them and telling them what to do? Or do they earn more, which I think would make more sense, unless they're battling? Well, I think that they should, like, relatively earn more. So, like, if they're battling a level 2 Pokemon, they're not going to get more experience than if they're battling a Pokemon that's close to them. If you were telling them what to do, but I think it would make more sense if they would get more against the level 2 Pokemon by themselves than they would if they were just battling with you.
I just kind of
That makes
assumed it would be whatever the experience is when not functioning under experience share.
sense. Yeah, I think that that would make a lot of sense.
Um, But yeah, it's a cool feature. It's a good immersion feature.
I
Mhm.
agree. Also, another thing that I wonder if you can use the Let's Go feature and then yeet and then do another like regular ass battle with your other Pokemon.
Right. Or you
Yeah.
locked out of using them.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and the whole like this isn't something that I've thought too much about until this, um, of like how are trainer battles gonna function?
Hmm.
Like, are we still going to be, set upon by a trainer? Because we just kind of ignored that in the more open parts of Sword and Shield. There aren't trainer battles in the wild area.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
true. And I mean, even throughout the rest of the game, they kind of move away from the old way
Mm-hmm.
that trainer battles worked, where it's like you're sort of forced in the older games.
Yeah.
Most of the time, you're not even sort of, you're literally forced.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's no
But
other
in this
way.
game, there's like a lot of like warning of like somebody sees you here, and you can avoid them if you want. Just know that they see you, and then like
Mhm.
it closes in more and more until the
Yeah.
exclamation point fully shows, and then
I'm
battle
hoping
starts.
that they put a lot of thought into how that functions, because if we're talking about an open world game, we're talking about immersion in an open world. The idea of the typical Pokemon, you've beat this trainer, now they stand there with their one phrase that they say for the rest of
Hmm.
time,
Yeah.
it is so against all of the like thought processes that you would go into putting into an open world. So
I think that trainer battles should work more like Giga members in this game,
yes, that is
where they
actually
just can
absolutely what I was
happen
thinking.
in perpetuity. Like through you play this game for 1,000 hours and you always have trainer battles, and
Mhm.
like they could do the like hard coded in like youngster Joey,
Mm-hmm.
you'll battle him for the rest of his life. And when you first battle him, he has a Caterpie, and then by the time you battle him when you're almost done with the game, he has Gigantamax Butterfree. Like
Yeah.
that sort of, like that equivalent. Obviously Gigantamax is not in this game.
Mhm.
But yeah, like the trainers that persist and are not like procedurally generated or whatever in theory are like grow
Yeah, like
as you can.
the cameraman and the reporter in Gen 3
Yeah. Yep.
that you see multiple times throughout the course of the game, and their Pokemon grow every time.
And even
Mhm.
how they do it with the versus seekers,
Mm-hmm.
where a lot of times like the Pokemon will evolve and level up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So just that, but with trainers that have like some sort of like schedule, or like sometimes they're there, sometimes they're not.
In Arceus, in the post game, the Misfortune sisters have like various spawn points
Oh yeah, I
on
Yeah.
each
forgot
map.
about them.
Right. Yeah,
So
they kind of flirt with that a little bit with the
yeah,
evil
exactly.
clan member thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was like, they gotta have this on the site. Yeah, see right there, the engine, full on tongue coming out of its.
Yeah, it's definitely a Pokemon.
Yeah, it's a Pokemon.
Maybe that's gonna be how they unveil a sound type. Because that looks like it's also like a sound stage, doesn't it?
I
Eh,
doubt this whole thing
I
is the
don't think. Yeah.
Pokemon. I
You
think it
think that
is
there's
just
just the
like the
engine.
mouse. Yeah.
interesting.
I think it is just this engine. Um, I think because even in the like the
Damn, they got
summary,
a Quaxley.
it talks about how you have to battle the team boss
Mhm.
and their battle bus or whatever the heck they call this thing. So
Yeah. It did say something about the on the Pokemon Twitter. They said something to the effect of like, you wouldn't battle a car.
mm-hmm.
Like, so
Yeah,
That's
like
funny.
take down each squad's boss by defeating their party Pokemon and their star mobiles.
Oh, yep.
So that's a Pokemon somewhere in there. Um, this is also interesting.
Oh, the UI. Oh no, look, they went old school in the UI.
Yeah.
You can see on the bottom right.
Oh yeah, we've seen one of these for a while.
Yeah. I didn't realize that they had shown all the UI features in the battle.
But that is a streak of like Pokeball light or something
Yeah.
coming from behind the player character that they are showing.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like we're using the Let's Go feature here. So taking down a base together with somebody
Yep.
else.
That'd be cool.
That's
Good sign.
that's exciting.
Which again, I mean, confirmation of what they already said.
Yeah.
That you can do all the things. But also, just to circle back a little bit to the UI thing, we saw the UI for Arceus, and it was not what Arceus was when the game came out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was just the standard like battle. It was like a battle with Lucario. And then when the game came out, it was different. So
That UI moving away from menus entirely and being able to do most everything just through actual buttons was so much nicer.
Yeah.
I agree.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's another these games were made at the same time. They didn't know how people were going to be
Reacting to it.
Yeah, react to that.
Right. I could see either thing. I could see like them bait and switching it, and it's still the Arceus way, or it's what Alec just said, or somewhere in the middle where like you have the option to do it traditionally, or there's like hotkeys more or less. Because for the most part, that's really all the Arceus battle system was, is that it's like they have hotkeys for like going to your Pokeballs and switching your Pokemon. Like it's still the same menu. You're just not pressing the D-pad and the A button.
That's true.
Also, this
You're using the
little
ZR
Fuecoco
instead.
is screwed.
You don't
True.
know that. You don't know that.
He's 15 and the Torkoal is 27.
Maybe it terastallizes into a water type. Did you consider that?
Yeah, but that's freaking times 2, and that's a 12 level difference. Torkoal's mad bulky. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
No, I believe in Fucko. Fucko Faith. Let's go.
The other thing that I was a little sad about is the terastallizing of the Sudowoodo into a grass type. I'm hoping at least the later gym leaders go the opposite way.
What do you mean?
They're like, hi, I'm an ice type gym leader, and I'm going to terastallize my ice type into a water type because you're probably rocking fire to attack me.
Oh,
just,
right.
I mean, like 7 and 8, just like the last few.
Oh, you're saying like that that it's like, because Sudowoodo is that. It's just it's a rock type Pokemon with a grass type gym leader, but Sudowoodo does do the bait and switch of like, you think I'm a rock type and you're gonna hit me with a water type attack. Grass.
But you're prepared to fight grass Pokemon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So like you come up against a type that you're not prepared to fight. It's like how you know you have, you know, in the later gyms you typically have more dual type Pokemon that one of their types makes stuff more complicated for you. Like
I also wonder if
ice.
like I wonder if the Sudowoodo would be like hard coded to always terastallize, because again it could still be that where you're like, I'm in a grass gym, I'm going to use a flying type Pokemon, and then Sudowoodo's like, LOL.
Yeah,
you know,
like, well, you're screwed because I realized that the better move here would be to not terastallize.
Yeah, and I'm not going to, and now I'm going to rock slide you, rip. You know, like.
But yeah, edgy armor boys,
Mega Man's.
True.
They do look cool, like I get it, but they don't look like Pokemon. You know, is the thing.
I mean,
yeah, I don't know if I agree with that.
Gardevoir and Gallade exist.
I mean, Blaziken exists.
Yeah.
Machoke exists.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like the literal cannon, like
Hone
attached
Edge.
to the arm, you know?
I don't know. I like them.
Blastoise, man.
But I know that I like them in an edgelord way.
I think Blastoise is the most reasonable like counterpoint to that, but it's like not literally his arm, you know?
I mean, now with Mega Evolution and Gigantamax and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And then Claw.
Yeah, I don't care about Cloth at all. But that is how they show that Totem
He's
Pokemon.
he's the worst
essentially
crap
are about.
Pokemon to date. IMO.
Except his ability is cracked.
I'm talking about
Appearance.
superficially. Yeah.
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 Yeah, he's like a grassy fucking crab.
This is very much a Digimon design.
Mhm.
It's the eyes, man.
It's the eyes.
Yeah.
The bugged out eyes. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, he multiple I saw reports of multiple languages. They used the same word to describe what are called Titans in the English trailer,
Mhm.
as they did to describe totem Pokemon back in the day. in
Yeah.
Gen
Yep.
7. So
It's Arceus, which was Gen 7.
yeah, but in like, I mean, I enjoy that it's like it's one of the stories. And one of the
Yeah, no,
stories
I'm
you're
not saying
fighting boss
I'm not
Pokemon.
saying in a bad way.
Yeah.
I'm just saying like
It's
they're
bad.
taking that and extrapolating it into something that's more. They're basically doing what I've been talking about with Arceus, where people are like, I want more Arceus games, and they're like, no, let's just put it in another game,
Mhm.
which
Yeah.
I think is the
But
way to go.
It seemed like this is gonna have a Pokemon versus Pokemon interaction more so than like throwing sandbags at it or whatever.
Yeah. Which also a W.
Agreed.
Those sucked. Like
Yeah,
I'm
agreed.
not against obviously action in a Pokemon game, but that's not the way to do it.
No, and like I'm not against the experimentation either. Like,
Yeah,
yo, they wanted to
same.
try
I
something
agree.
new. Let's try it.
I agree.
But now we move on from that.
I will say that I think that this game, and it's in a way that people didn't expect, but I think this game kind of debunks the whole bullshit of like Pokemon can't be an action game. It's a game about the trainer telling the Pokemon what to do. That doesn't work. In this game,
Right.
they literally just go in the opposite direction, the bad direction of taking gameplay away and being like, your Pokemon, we don't got to do that. Like they do these attacks. You're
Mhm.
playing as the Pokemon. Like just because you're the trainer doesn't mean you're also playing as the Pokemon.
Hmm.
Video games don't work like real life where you occupy one body, like,
Wait, what? Video games aren't real life?
it's crazy. I know. I'm sorry to break it to
Crazy.
you here
That's
in this way.
insane. My brain is rocked.
I still want to know what these towers are.
I
Probably
mean,
unlock
I'm gonna
pieces
do
of the
it the
map. Gotta climb it, It's the
True.
Ubisoft thing.
I mean, it's the Breath of the Wild thing.
Yeah, the Ubisoft thing is you already have the map. You climb up the thing to take the marker off of your map
Achievement.
And then you do the thing.
to
And then it
check off the
glows
box.
or whatever. It like
Yeah,
it does an
you're filling out the
animation.
spreadsheet. You guys
That's a
like that,
W.
right?
W for society.
And then just some general Pokemon. I mean, do we have any more thoughts on the trailer?
I don't have a lot more thoughts on the trailer other than like I'm excited to play the game.
Game looks fun. Want to play game.
Yep.
Get your Ash.
Nope.
Get your Ash Surfetch. Get your ass onto your Switch and
Get that damn Surfetched.
What cringe move does his Surfetch have?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's
'Cause,
definitely
like,
got brutal swing though, right?
What
I
does
mean,
Joe say?
Fucking what Pokemon was it? I forgot. I think it was the first Pokemon. Whatever they dropped first had like tackle or some shit. I'm like, yo, this is such a Ash Pokemon. Where like the rest of the moveset is like, yep, this makes sense. I would have this on a Pokemon at this level and with these stats. and then he's just like quick attack. Like, which I mean quick attack has utility, but
yeah, it does. I was watching some of the junior VGC stuff, and some of the juniors actually roll quick attack on their Pokemon to like finish out matches, and like in more than one instance, it like actually
that's
swung
why
the
I
momentum.
like kind of walk back the quick attack example because quick attack is useful because it has
can be,
priority
definitely.
and priority is big. But like I forgot what the attack was. I'd have to go back and look. But I think it had like tackle or some shit like that. It's
Yeah,
like, why do you have
something
tackle on
hella
this
dumb.
Pokemon? Like,
Detect, Fury Cutter, Brutal Swing, Meteor Assault.
Detect. That's the
alright,
crappy
that makes
move.
sense. No,
Nah.
this makes sense. This makes sense. This makes sense. Go scroll up. I want to see what his other Pokemon's attacks are.
I just closed the page.
Unbelievable.
Boo.
I gotta open the page.
Alex
again.
having a rough day, guys.
I am. I'm so tired. Those databases. Joe, redo this page.
Please.
Joe, redo this website.
Yes, please.
Gotta look at the code. Yep, that's one of them. Shadow Ball,
Okay.
Sludge Bomb, Dazzle Gleam, Will-O-Wisp for
Gengar.
Gengar. Dragon Claw, Draco Meteor, Hurricane, Dragon Dance.
Dragon Dance. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Draco Meteor is kind of dumb,
Yes, it
given the
is.
rest of its moves, but oh, that's what it was. It's the Draco Fish with water gun. Like what?
Wow.
That is stupid. Oh, Ash.
Yeah, that makes sense though, because Ash is a bad trainer. So
Selling, literally selling.
All right. Shiny Eternatus.
for the
Don't
first time,
Don't we not get this?
No, this
No,
one is
we do.
GameStop. This is the one we do get. This is not the
Yeah.
ones we
Oh,
don't
okay,
get.
okay.
yeah. And it sounds like from what's leaked, all you have to do is like take your Switch into a GameStop, and it's not even a code. You just like connect to the local Wi-Fi or whatever.
Oh,
Good.
I gotta go to fucking GameStop.
Yeah, it is only a GameStop exclusive.
I mean,
That's
that part
that
is
is the
fine.
case.
But that's good because then they can't.
Right, they can't run out. They can't force you to buy something or some of that
they can't
bullshit.
be shady, as
Yes,
GameStop
which is
usually is with.
has been an
stuff.
issue. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but with codes and stuff, I don't usually gotta go out of my way. Literally, the last time I remember of a GameStop code situation,
Mhm.
Bob got me the code.
Yeah, we just
But in
mean
this
like
case, I literally gotta go. I don't
Yep.
go to GameStop.
there's just
Like,
been instances before of like they're supposed to just hand them out, and they'll tell customers that they have to actually buy something to get a code or whatever.
yeah, that's cringe. That's cringe.
Yeah.
It's super cringe. So, but this will at least in theory prevent them from being able to do that. You know, it's like you do have to show up, but if you show up, they can't say no.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the one AJ is talking about, I'm sure there will be a recent tweet about it.
The Marsh Stomp and the
Nope. These
Genesect.
guys. You said Marsh. Marsh.
Marshadow. My
Yeah.
bad.
Only
Europe.
in Europe right now.
That's
It's for the Queen. They did this for the Queen.
cringe.
Marshadow.
I know.
Just like he killed Ash.
Yeah, exactly. They felt bad. They were like, all right.
The Pokemon OLED.
Cringe. This thing is cringe. I'm not going to lie. The more I look at it, the more I dislike it.
It's true. I was shocked when. Were you there when Bob was talking about this?
Oh, Bob
No,
said
I
he
don't
liked
think
it.
so.
Yes,
But
Bob
he
said he
liked it?
liked it. I'm
Bob
like,
said
what?
he
Oh
liked
my
it. And I was
God.
like, what? Excuse me?
I'm shocked that Bob said that
I-
this looked good because I
This
think
looks
I think the
terrible.
doc looks good. The more I look at the doc,
Right.
at first I was kind of iffy on the doc because
Agreed.
I like I would like it more if the legendaries ironically were not there.
Yeah.
But like overall, doc looks decent. But
There's
the
like some
Switch,
subtle touches
yeah.
to it and stuff. Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Mhm.
But the Switch itself looks
Terrible.
The
Yeah,
thing
it
Atrocious.
looks
that
super
really
bad.
does it for me on the Switch is I don't like that the design on the back carries over to the Joy-Con.
Yeah.
I don't like that. It's like it only kind of carries over to the Joy-Con.
That's true.
Like,
Also, it's
what's
like they don't even try with because obviously you got to do like the like regulatory shit of like it's FCC approved and
Yeah,
all that
right.
bullshit. You have to do that.
UL
But like
tested, yeah.
at least try to put stuff around that instead of like literally under it and then slap all that stuff over
I
it.
also wonder what like the legibility has to be, like how close they could get the colors. Like they could probably put those on there in a very similar purple and a very similar orange.
Yeah. Yep.
So that
You mean
they
a
barely
scarlet and a
show.
violet?
Yes.
You mean a similar scarlet and a similar
And
violet?
similar
Yeah.
scar- I don't know how- yeah. I will not be upgrading my OLED to this.
That's the thing is I don't have an OLED, and I would absolutely buy this. Except literally, the more I look at this, the more I hate it.
Yeah. Same.
Yes.
But the thing is, might still do it. If I can,
Yeah.
if I can just walk into a store 2 months from now and buy it, I'm
Yeah.
down. But
Right.
like the thing is, like, just because, which obviously it's Pokemon, it's related to Pokemon, it's going
Right.
to come out in November. But just the fact that I got a bunch of shit that I'm probably going to be doing in November, and that's going to cost money. I'm like, do I want to spend $360 something on something I already have?
Exactly.
I don't think so. So November, not going to happen. But
Mhm.
after that,
January?
December, like
Maybe.
December, it's my birthday and whatnot, potentially,
Could
but
happen.
like November, I don't know about that.
If
I don't know.
the dock design was on the back of a light, I would probably be getting it because I've been thinking about having a light for a while. Also, now that I'm looking at this, Pokemon Camp something confirmed because there's a little like picnic box
Oh yeah. I mean,
Man,
right in the corner there.
I think
Oh,
that's
I
a
guess.
foregone conclusion. That's something that they
Oh,
always
yeah.
do to some degree. Except for an Arceus, ironically enough.
I just like I
But
can't
then
get
there were
over how
actual
much
camps.
True.
I can't get over how much I hate the framing out of the logo, the Nintendo Switch logo on the back.
Yeah.
I hate it.
bad.
Like I actually hate
It
it.
is really bad.
Yeah, I mean that kind of goes back to what I was talking about the like the
Actually look
all
like
the
them.
FCC and all that shit. Like
Yeah.
they took the time to like frame out the logo, but they
Right.
didn't even give a fuck about like minding that stuff.
So like
like,
either
and
they,
it's not. It's
I feel
I
like
was
they
just gonna
either
say
really up
it's not
the
even like
contrast
Mhm,
or
mhm.
or it's actually brighter on this thing than it is on my OLED. Also,
Like the logo stands out more on this.
Also, you can't see them on my camera. My all the shit that's written that they have in black on
Mhm.
the Joy-Con are like
Oh
light
yeah, yep.
ass gray on
Yeah.
here.
So they didn't have to have it that intense then. Yeah, it didn't have to be that contrasted.
Yeah, big oof.
Yeah, dude. Ugh.
Don't like
And the thing is,
The
I would have
Switch
been
itself
this
is
would have
an
been a day
L.
one purchase. Yeah, exactly.
Same.
Yep. God. And I need the OLED. I want an OLED still. Like I do a lot of handheld gaming. I want to upgrade.
Oh, such a nicer screen.
I know, and like the kids can use my old Switch, which would be great because theirs is like broken. So that would be awesome. It's not broken, but the fan is just so loud. It sounds like a PS4, dude. It's insane. But this is ugly. It's like actually ugly. It actually offends me.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, will I have the
Dock's pretty cool,
willpower?
though.
Yeah, I would see if I could just buy the dock. Absolutely, I would.
You probably will be able to at some point.
For like $100 though, because
Nah.
I'll be mad about that.
How much is the Animal Crossing
Nah.
dock run?
Oh, like
Can you just buy the Animal Crossing dock?
From
At some
Nintendo?
point, you could.
Oh,
I don't know.
it's like I feel AJ though because like if I just walk into a GameStop and just have these on the shelf, will I have the willpower to say no? Might not have the
Absolutely
willpower
not.
to say no.
Yeah, nah. It's a Pokemon thing, dude.
Exactly. Oh, refurbished.
Oh,
Animal
you can
Crossing
get
dock.
refurbished ones. Okay, yeah.
Wait,
Makes
why is it
sense.
loading the price? Oh, $40?
Yeah, nah, that's not
It
bad.
doesn't come with
Yo, I
anything,
can-
but
Okay.
Yeah, but still, he doesn't
Yeah.
need to. Like, he
Yeah.
got a Switch charger and, and like all the shit you need. HDMI cables,
Yeah,
unless you're used apparently.
I got an Ethernet cord. I'm ready to go.
I do have many HDMI cables.
It's wild
Same.
when people don't.
Tens of them.
Tens of them, literally.
But that's all we have for Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we're gonna talk about PAX.
Well, we actually have one more game to talk about real quick.
Oh, you want to talk about?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait.
Splatoon.
Okay, Splatoon.
Yeah, Splatoon came out.
Everyone
So
here
have you
bought
played
it.
the game yet? Yeah, have you played it yet, Alec?
I played a bunch of the single player. So
The story mode.
yeah.
I don't know how to take that. I feel like
Did you
I feel like I should be offended by that.
No, I don't think you should be offended by that.
I don't know
All right,
how.
just
I've
making sure.
never played a Splatoon.
Yeah,
I was like, this is
exactly.
the point of the single player, is to
Yep.
teach me how to play and help me figure out which weapons I like. So I'm just gonna play this for a
Mhm.
while.
All right. Well, we got to
Exactly.
squad up, do some turf wars.
That's the point of me playing single player. I would like to not completely suck.
No, it's okay. I have played no Splatoon ever. Didn't play 1, didn't play 2.
It's true.
Just jump in and start playing with the team. Like, I'm not going to judge you. My goal is to get you to be as good as you can at the game while having a good time. That's the point of the game.
That's a fact. That's the point of any multiplayer game that you play with your friends.
Yep. And then you can learn too, because I feel like one of my things, I get that. I don't like being bad at things. I don't like being the worst person on the team. I don't like bringing people down. But I will say, playing with people who play the game, you get tips and tricks way faster than you would by yourself. So AJ especially will be like, hey, I noticed you're doing this a lot. Try doing this instead and see if that helps you.
And Splatoon is like definitely because the thing that like especially in Turf War, it's literally just hey we're not covering this area enough. Maybe go over there and shoot the ground over there. It's that simple. It's just that simple. Like,
and especially if we're in a Discord call, we can actually like, hey, come with me and let's go like, have my back here. So if I get splatted, you can take them out and then finish covering the area.
Right.
J Bell and I just kind of started naturally doing that earlier today, where I would look behind me and he was just there, and it's like, this is great. We're covered.
True. Big W.
Fun game. Maybe instead of raids, we can do some turf war.
Apart from that, I will say, I think Bob is supposed to be like working on a video when he was streaming this. I'm preemptively annoyed by his video already.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because just him playing the game on stream, he did the very Bob thing of like, I won't say intentionally playing the game wrong, but like playing the game, trying to like, not even necessarily like play it his way, but more so play it assuming that his conclusion about the game is correct.
Right.
So like he thinks that the single player is like not like fully featured enough to like stand on its own. And like that, this is not him saying that the game is bad. I think that he acknowledges that the game, it like in its totality, is worth getting, but his whole thing is like, you don't gotta bother with the single player. It's not as good as like some people are saying, and so on and so forth. But like just watching him play it, it's like, yeah, because like first of all, he was getting ready to like have his conclusion for the video, and he just beat the first opening area. And I don't know,
tutorial essentially.
Yeah, did you see? I don't know if you guys were in the stream when I played through that, and like just the first level of like when the game actually starts compared to the first like 4 or 5 levels in that tutorial area are like night and day. Like every level in that tutorial area is like, here's this mechanic, learn how to do that, like here's how little buddy works. And then as soon as you go into the next thing, it layers on itself multiple times over, and that continues like from every stage. And he even got further than what I got to so far, because I'm just doing the story mode on stream, where he got to this part where it starts to do the difficulty scaling thing, where yeah, exactly. So the loadout that he initially picked was a charger, and how he was playing, and this was like what solidified it for me, was like, yeah, he's going to have a negative conclusion on this game, and I don't think he approached this game like well enough to be able to like do that authoritatively. You know what I mean? It's like walking into a movie, watching the first 10 minutes and be like, this movie was terrible, the writing was bad, the movie fell apart in Act 3, there
was no action. Yeah.
Or even like what I've been comparing it to a lot is a Mario game. Like imagine judging any Mario game entirely on the first level. Or even the first world,
They're all tutorial levels. That is the point.
Exactly.
Of the world always.
And I think the further we get into Mario Odyssey included, which is another game that both me and Bob love, it's pretty straightforward and pretty easy until towards the end, and then it's like, oh, okay, you understand this game. We're going to throw challenges at you as if you understand this game, and that's how
Yeah.
Splatoon is. But I think it ramps up at a better pace.
Yeah, I still haven't beaten Mario Odyssey to that point. Like I've
Mhm.
beaten it, but like the last world or whatever, like the last one with
Yeah,
like
like the darker side of the moon and like all that stuff.
I
Yeah.
think it's the darkest side or whatever, and there's that like last challenge where at one point you take over Bowser or whatever. I still haven't beaten that.
Yep.
It's like such a long fucking onslaught. So yeah, but that's like the end game. So
Right. And
Wait,
there's a
so
lot of stuff in this game like that.
Mhm.
And to what everybody's point is about this, like it goes out of its way to like teach you how to play the game, but more than just like the base level of how to play the game. They're trying to like make it so that you understand as much as you possibly can about the mechanics of this game. And
So
I
it's like
think
you
that
get the depth that you want.
right. And with that, I think that that results in a really well thought out single player mode that has great level design. Like I think that if people come into the story mode knowing that, like and
Mhm.
approaching it from that mindset instead of trying to convince themselves that like, yeah, I was right about this being bad, I think that they'll be surprised by how good the single player of Splatoon games actually is. Like even from jump where in the first Splatoon game, it was very much so that, and there was no denying that from anybody, including Nintendo, that this is a tutorial. Like
Mhm.
it's like 5 hours on a good day, you know. But this, like, if you're actually playing through it, it's going to take you like a good 12 to 15 hours from what I'm seeing.
Yeah, and I've
Mhm.
had levels that were slightly challenging because I've been like just picking weapons that I haven't used before. And sometimes that
Mhm.
ends up being the weapon that I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is designed as like, this is the challenge of version of this
Yeah.
level. Like
Right.
this is the
Like
hard.
the example that Bob was going through when he was playing and he was using the charger. Um on this stage that the whole thing was you got to break all these targets. If you don't break the targets in time, you're going to run out of rail and you'll die. He was like using the charger and like fully charging it and kept shooting over and over again to try to hit all the targets, and he would run out of ink, have to refill his ink, and then run out of rail before he was able to destroy all the targets. And I'm like, yeah, it's a difficulty thing. You have to be more precise and I mean, just more precise, be more
Mhm.
accurate, shoot less. Like
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
whole thing of it. Like you're losing because you're running out of ink. And you're running out of ink because you're shooting too much, and you're shooting too much because you're missing. But if you look at it for what it's trying to teach you, which is accuracy, um,
Right.
you'll get through it. Like it's designed well, you're just not good. Like,
Yeah, get good. Yeah.
yeah. Which I mean, that's the point. Like
Right.
Yeah.
it's supposed to be
Not
like,
even
yeah,
in a
get
toxic
better at
way,
this thing.
but
Yeah, that's not
unironically,
even an
right.
attack. It's like you're just not good at the thing that it's trying to teach you to do.
Right.
And that's why it's the hard mode. You know, like I don't think any reasonable person would play through the hard mode of any game that we know is a hard mode of the game and be like, why couldn't I just play through it seamlessly and like no friction? This is poorly designed. It's like, no, it's the hard mode. It's supposed to be like full of friction, you know?
Right.
But yeah, no, the single player is really good. I played a little bit of Samurai. Have you played any Samurai yet, Trev?
I have not played Salmon Run. I'm intrigued though, because it's players versus environment, right?
I mean, we
Versus
could do
player.
that instead of running regular games at the end of this.
This
I
is
think that
true.
that would be an even better on ramp past the single. I mean the single player to going straight in the turf war or whatever for Alec, since he only
Super
played single
down.
player.
What is the Salmon Run? What's
Um,
like a quick
so
little
so
breakdown of
Salmon
what it
Run's
looks
like a
like?
horde mode basically. It's like Call of Duty Zombies, like that sort of situation where there's waves of enemies and bosses, and you have to get a certain amount of eggs, like golden eggs per round. Like the whole concept of it is like you're a freelancer for this dude, and he's like, yo, I need these eggs, steal them from the salmonids, and then you go there and you kill them and you get
I
their
don't know, man.
eggs.
As a vegetarian, I don't know if I can play this game. That does sound fun though. I'd be down for that. And so is there like because like in zombies, I don't think there actually is an end. Is this just an
No.
infinite kind of run thing?
I mean, well, there's an end, like literally, but I think there's like 100 different waves or 200 or something like
Oh
that.
wow.
And
I'm
then
not
there's
gonna
like
get
different, like
We'll be good.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
there's
we got time.
yeah, we'll get through
Yeah.
all of them. But yeah, no, there's a lot to it.
That sounds fun.
So
I'd
it's
definitely be
very
down to
simple.
check that out.
Hmm hmm
I like how easy it is to get into games too. Like I'm not gonna lie, that was one of the first things I noticed right away. We're friends on the Switch, so like AJ was in my instance of when I got to the online lobby. Because as soon as you get into like the gameplay modes, it just you're online, you know.
hmm
So that like all your friends are there, and you can just walk up and like click the A button and join their lobby or whatever. And like that's great. I think that that's an awesome way to do it.
Right.
There's still
The
a
only
little
thing that
hiccups.
I was going to say the only thing I don't like about that specifically is it seems when you use the ghost, I don't really use it. I just go straight to the menu. But it seems
Right.
like when you use the ghost, it just randomly throws you into the lobby. It doesn't ensure that you're always on the same team for the ghost.
Correct.
But when you go
It's
in through play with friends or whatever, that's how it's like, okay, you will always be on the same team.
Yeah, it is definitely different. It's more of just like throw you in the same instance.
Hmm
Like looking for you're one of the 8, but that's it.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. What was cool is like so I was playing with whatever squad, randoms, and then J Bell was able to come into the next instance that I was in without me
hmm
like quitting and starting
Right.
something new. Like that was
hmm
cool. It's like it worked well. And already today I had significantly less communication errors than I have had
hmm
the other days. So
That's
like they
good.
are definitely working on it.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. And I don't even necessarily know if they're working on it,
Could
or
just
if
be
it's
less
just
people trying to do it
It's
at
just
once.
smoothing
yeah,
out.
exactly. Which I did see something about there being maintenance sometime yesterday, so it could be a combination of both of
Mhm.
those things.
Mhm.
Um, but for what it's worth, I do want to note that Tundix has had significantly worse luck than anybody I have ever seen with this video
Oh,
game
really?
because he is getting communication errors where I didn't even know was possible. Like he got a communication error in one of the stores. Like what the fuck?
What?
How?
Yeah, how?
I'm like,
You
I'm
leave
like,
the arena for that.
yes, literally.
You're
He was
not
like
even
in the
on the
store and he
internet.
got a communication error. I
No,
don't
you
know,
have to
man.
be. You can only get to the stores if you are
If you're connected
also
to the
also
internet.
connected. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you just leave the arena though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like like you go into the overworld and then you either
Yeah.
go into the menu and pick the store from there or you walk into the store. But yeah, like he
Wild.
sent me a screenshot of he got a communication error in the store and I'm like, yo, what type of shit is that?
How?
I don't know.
That's a
Um
Tundix problem, bro. He did that to him.
I know, and like that's like
This man
another
doesn't know how to lag switch.
it's another version of that, right? Where it's like he was tweeting, he was like, Nintendo fixes servers, and I'm like, I don't know if it's a server thing here.
Yeah.
Like, like I don't know. You might have to hit up your ISP or something.
Yeah.
No.
Maybe call your ISP.
Nintendo
Because
got to come to my house and fix this.
I have literally never seen that ever
Nah,
a day in my life.
that's wild.
And yeah, like you were saying, like the communication errors and stuff, definitely not okay. Definitely not something that I came in expecting. Because again, like I
Right.
said, I played every Splatoon game. I can count on one hand the amount of times that I've seen communication errors in the first 2 games combined.
Mhm.
But with this game, it blew it out of the water in the first hour of
Yeah.
the free test. And
Yep.
I'm even including those, like because I feel like Splatoon kind of originated that for Nintendo, where it's like they do they're like betas but not betas.
Mm-hmm.
Splatoon was
Mhm.
like the first game that really did that for
The
them,
stress
and
tests.
even those ran really smoothly. So it's kind of weird for this game to be the exception. That said, I mean, maybe it's something to do with the fact that this is on their new
I
online.
was gonna say maybe that new online's just buggy. That new better
Yeah,
online.
Could
could
be.
just be because it's new and there's growing pains, but
Yep.
because I wouldn't necessarily call it buggy because Monster Hunter Rise runs on that, and I think people
AJ,
have
let me
good
be
experience.
toxic Nintendo fan.
No, I refuse. My whole thing is to combat that.
Oh dang, we gotta go back to this version for a second. Um,
That's crazy. This man cut AJ out.
yeah. So good game, fun game so far. I enjoyed
Yeah.
my single player time, and I'm sure I will enjoy my not single player time when it happens.
The other thing that I noticed, just the last little comment, is that I also don't like that if anyone quits at any point, it doesn't fill with an AI. It just ends the game.
Yeah, I hate that too. Yeah.
That's annoying.
This this is like one of those things that like I doubt that we'll see that fix happen in this game, because that's a
Right.
coding level, like you got to develop the game with that in mind.
Right.
That's something that I could see them hearing feedback from people being like, this is a bad solution, and them going back to the drawing board and fixing that. Because one of my favorite things about Splatoon is the fact that they do take fan criticism and they apply it every game. So I could see them doing, like, having some sort of solution. This was just them presenting a solution to be like, hey, what about this? Because before the problem was just people would yeet out and then you would just be mathematically at a disadvantage because there's 4 people on one team getting all the turf, and then there's 2 or 3 or however many people are left after people leave out. So instead of that, they're just like, all right, we're just going to nip it in the bud and end this so that nobody is like wasting their time.
Probably a better solution, to be fair. Like, ending it is probably a better solution than letting you play at a disadvantage.
Yeah, it's definitely a better solution, but it's not the best one, because I think that they could definitely go with the AI route, because it's not like the AI doesn't exist. Like, there's like turf wars and stuff like that in the single player
where you get filled.
So, and also that, like, there's definitely bots and like when you're first starting to play the game.
Right. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was my last thought on it. But a fun game, definitely.
Good game.
So next on the docket, I went to PAX West.
It's true.
AJ should have gone.
It
would have been a lot of fun.
It's true. I kind of saw.
Well, I don't know. I think it was a pretty good PAX. TBH. I think PAX is the problem.
I think PAX East is the W, but
I don't know about
I've never been to PAX West, so I can't say.
I haven't been to PAX East, so I can't say. But
true. I mean, you literally just did. You just did.
I've been to PAX East, I said.
No, I know that. You said you said same, because I said I can't say because I haven't been to one, but you did.
But I did say it was better.
Yeah, you said I don't know about that.
That was in jest.
Sure. But yeah, no.
What is the truth?
PAX West was okay. Like, it's in Seattle. Seattle's like, I don't really like Seattle as a city because it's like a bigger Portland. It's like too busy. There's too many people. Like, everyone's kind of lots of hills. Like, people suck. The one W with Seattle is that it's very walkable. So like, that's great. Big fan of that.
Which is good.
There's like good coffee everywhere. Right. It's not drivable. It's not parkable. There's great coffee everywhere, but like a lot of the coffee shops don't open until like 8, which is crazy to me. That's like way too late to open a coffee shop. But
the event, I thought it was the other way around, that you're like, why are all these coffee shops closing at 8? And I'm like, that's completely acceptable. What's wrong with you?
No. They don't open until 8 a.m. It's crazy. Or 8 a.m. Excuse me.
That's awful.
It's terrible. Like, I got up a couple times at like 6:30, as one does. Shut up, AJ.
No, that's crazy. Getting up at 6 a.m. for a convention, like you're like,
you didn't set an alarm, my guy.
It's insanity.
I just woke up.
That's fucking crazy. Nah. You're a psychopath.
If I actually did set an alarm for like 8:45, I even told Eric one day. I was like, I was wishful thinking, hoping that maybe I would sleep in.
Also, hold on. What time did you go to sleep during these?
Like 10:30, 11.
What the fuck? You're squandering the experience.
I'm an old man.
No, fuck that. You're supposed to go to sleep at 3:50 a.m. and then wake up at like 11.
No,
it's my normal sleep schedule, but for the convention specifically.
If you had been there, we probably would have done that. To be fair.
That's the tech, because there's like all different types of shit to do after the convention.
I am preemptively saying that I will not be up that late at PAX East.
How dare you? But no, I will say that it probably makes more sense for me to be, because like you guys didn't have like the media
At
experience,
all.
so like you don't
Yeah.
got like the access and stuff like that. So it'll be different for PAX East. But freaking nah, going to sleep at 10 p.m. for the convention is kind of nuts.
Yeah. No, I mean, hey man, I was open to do
At
things.
least midnight.
I was open to do things. There were just like wasn't like I didn't really know what to do. Other than like I didn't really want to like go out to like a nightclub or whatever. Like it's COVID
Yeah,
still,
no,
you know.
you don't
Like,
want to do that.
I wasn't trying to like do that shit.
Yeah, no,
But like yeah, I don't have the media hookup or anything like that. So like I don't really know a lot of people in Seattle. So I didn't like know what was going on. But yeah, the event itself, I think you said it best, where you were like, the best part about going to the events is like leaving the event and finding stuff to do afterwards.
Yep.
Because the event itself was mostly like okay. There was some cool demos. That was fun. There was one game that I really liked. I think I put it in the doc, Akura. That's a really fun game, and I think people in the community especially would probably like it. It's like a very cozy, puzzly game with no like battle or combat systems. It's literally just like a puzzle block, like you're pushing stuff around, trying to unlock different areas. The demo was pretty cool. There's a lot of mechanics we didn't get to explore because like they come later in the game, but like the music's pretty cozy. It's very fun time. It's literally like you just push blocks, and the only button is an undo button, so you can just go backwards. And I think that's pretty cool.
It looks like a Parker game. It looks like
Yeah,
it could potentially be a youth game.
yeah, the art style I really liked. Just like walking by it, it immediately kind of drew me in, reminded me of like Link to the Past.
I was gonna say it's very top-down Zelda.
Yeah, it's very top-down Zelda. And it's like even all the puzzles in it, because it's straight, it's like every classic puzzle mechanic you've ever experienced in every video game ever, combined in one game. So like all the old puzzle mechanics from Zelda is like definitely represented here and stuff. So that was a W. One thing I did notice that was kind of weird is like talking to a lot of devs. If you like ask them if a game's coming to Switch, they get real cagey. And like one guy straight up was like, "We can't talk about it. Like we got NDAs and stuff." It just makes me wonder if a new console like might actually be in the works.
No,
and they're like designing for those things instead of like current gen.
It's always been like that, because like coming to Switch is a big deal, So like a lot of companies, I mean Nintendo included, try to super capitalize on that. Sometimes it's shittier than others, like sometimes it's Tony Hawk, where it's like, or even Dragon Ball Fighters, where it's like, we're not sure if it's possible. And then a year later, they're like, all right, now that everybody went and bought the game on other platforms because we told them that it wasn't possible to come to Switch, buy it again, So it's like,
it just seems like,
or maybe they're working out some deal to be like in an indie direct.
Yeah, or they already got that deal and they're not allowed to announce it prior.
Yeah, it's definitely something. It's just because like, they have all the consoles they're going to be on, and available on Steam, Xbox, PlayStation, and then Switch is just absent. And they're definitely not like graphically intensive games. It's not games where you would look at it and be like, "Oh, well this definitely can't be on the Switch."
Right.
It's definitely not like Call of Duty. So I don't know. It's just kind of weird. I don't like how cagey everything is around it. Because there were some games, like one game specifically, I think it's called Sea Frog, where I was like, I would buy this shit today if it was on the Switch, but like I'm not going to play that game on a console. There's 0% chance.
Yeah.
People play games on consoles?
Some people do. It's crazy.
Couldn't be weird life. What a weird life some people live.
There was some cool panels. One of the ones we went to was like why games get canceled. And it was not at all what I was expecting, because it was led by two women, and their perspective was all like about how soft skills, like interrelationship skills between like management and like, developers and producers and artists and sound effects guys, that's what gets games canceled. And that was like a really interesting perspective. It was like something I'd never thought about at all.
Yeah. But makes a lot of sense.
It makes a lot of sense. I would have been curious to see two dudes talk about that, because I guarantee they come to a different conclusion.
Oh,
I
100%.
don't like. I think that that's definitely a reason. I think
Yeah.
that it's a popular reason.
Mhm.
But I wouldn't say it's the reason.
Right.
And I mean, if you like extrapolate it enough, sure, definitely, because most problems can be solved.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like what we were just kind of talking about with the Switch, right? Where it's like, oh, Call of Duty can't run on Switch. It could run on Switch, but there's a lot of hurdles that they would have to jump through that they don't
It's
necessarily
not
want
worth
to
it.
jump
Right.
through to do so. Like, yeah, on that level, sure, it's like if they found the right people and like that did that sort of situation, that game wouldn't have to get canceled. But I think that that's kind of like a long drawn out explanation,
Mhm.
more so than the straightforward answer. Sometimes it is the straightforward answer, but I think it being the answer is like more of a technicality.
Yeah. Well, it's because because that's such a big umbrella. It's
Right,
like, yeah, lack of soft skills is also like communication. Like none of
right,
you communicate correctly, and like
Mhm.
that is arguably its own issue.
right. And I think
Uh,
that that's also another reason why a bunch of like dudes wouldn't make that panel, because like stereotypically, and not even
yep.
necessarily stereotypically, just generally, dudes
Right.
are bad at that.
Correct.
Like
Exactly.
especially nerds. So like, yeah.
Right. Well, like, yeah, just some of the stories they were telling, it was like, yeah, no, right. You're talking about a dude being an asshole here. Like, that's what
Yeah.
happened.
Yep. Yep.
And it's like very believable. Yeah. Super
True.
believable shit. So, like,
It's
not a
true.
surprise, but was just interesting perspective because that would have never occurred to me. Always would
Mhm.
have assumed something like, oh, it was a technical limitation we weren't able to get past, or the budget ended up getting way too out of hand and we weren't able to, you know, uh, get it under control like we needed it to. But it was like, no, it comes down to a lot of people are assholes and that creates a lot of problems.
Yep.
Were there
True.
any uh company panels? Like, was Nintendo or someone
Nintendo
there?
was there. I didn't see a Nintendo panel. Reggie was there. He did a panel.
Mhm.
Which is funny. I don't know. Nerds love Reggie so much, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
He's cool. Like
Because
I
his
guess.
body is ready. That's
Yes,
why.
that was of
I
course
think
that
I
was
think that I think nerds love Reggie because he's a suit, but
he
like
leans into
he's
the
more
memes.
than, yeah, like he exactly.
Yeah.
He's a suit that is willing to seem like a person.
Yeah.
you know? And that's pretty rare. Especially in this industry.
Yeah, they
So
were humanizing the Nintendo executives at a time when we didn't get that because
From anybody.
mhm.
their console was failing and they needed something else to talk about.
No, but I wouldn't even say that. I would say that since Iwata, they've done that. Like that's
Yeah.
been like a thing that they do. Um and less so now as far as like Doug Bowser. Like Doug Bowser is a personality sometimes. And like he has a Twitter presence and people follow him and stuff
I was
like
gonna say,
that.
when's the last time we saw
Um
him? Been a
yeah,
while.
like he'll pop up every once in a while and like not partner directs and like E3, like bigger
Hmm.
events. I mean bigger like presentations and stuff. But he's definitely not like the Owada or like uh even Miyamoto and stuff like that, which I think is another version of like what Apple does with their presentations
Yep.
now, where they're like, people don't want to hear suits talk about this. They want to hear it from the developers, the people that are making the video games.
Yeah.
The
Um,
nerds.
but a lot of times for Nintendo, those two things are the same. Like Iwata was the president of the company, but he was also a developer. Miyamoto has a very high standing in that company, but he's also a developer. Koizumi, like what is his name? I can't think of his name right now, but he's the guy that always shows up whenever there's a Metroid delay. Him. He
Oh,
also is an
yeah.
executive, but he is a developer. Yeah. Um, so
That's good on
that's
Nintendo.
also why.
Like, because
Yeah,
that just
like
means that
I
they're
think
actually like hire or promoting people who do the job.
right, exactly. Which like I just wanted to make that clear because it can
Mhm.
definitely seem like they're pandering, but I think that like on some level it is genuine, where it's like no, they just put people that know what they're talking about in high positions.
Which is good. Yeah, definitely. That's a good business move.
Nah, I think you should outside hires who have never played a game in their life.
More CEOs, honestly.
Yeah.
You want every company to be Activision. Got it.
More people who have no idea what the hell they're doing.
That's hilarious. One thing about the Reggie thing that I did find interesting, because it wasn't just him, right? It was like he was a panel and there was a bunch of indie game developers. And one guy who was like, I tweeted about it, but he looked like he was trying to be Billy from Stranger Things. I don't know, man. This guy was like, I'm punk rock. They literally asked a question about crypto, like NFTs in games, and his response was like, I'm too punk rock to answer that. And then he proceeded to answer it. And I was like, so wait, you're just a poser. And he was talking about the game and like how it's, you know, he's a musician and like the sound design and how much time he spent on the sound for the game. And that's the whole game was based around the sound. So I was like really excited to play this game. And the game kind of sucked. I'm not going to lie. And then the sound was also terrible. Okay. Like it was like not immersive and like very disjointed.
So
unfortunate.
So back to the drawing.
That was cool. Yeah, that was cool.
I'll say that's like PAX for me. Panels are almost not a thing at all, except for the ones that like Bob, you know, like the ones that like I'm a part of in one way or another.
Right.
I don't usually watch a lot of panels and it's not necessarily a thing of like, I don't know anybody here, I'm not gonna watch that. It's like I can't watch that because I'm doing something either with somebody that is giving a panel or like I'm demoing a game.
Yeah.
But I definitely would have tried to hit up the Reggie one at least.
So yeah,
it was good. Yeah.
From the perspective of someone who's been to a lot of conventions but never a video game one, the panels that I usually seek out are not like the big ones. Like at C2E2, which is Chicago's Comic-Con, Marvel and DC and Image, like they always have a really big presence, and there's usually like official company panels where they're like, we're gonna sell you on the next 6 months. But it's instead going to like the creator ones. Like to this day, one of the most fascinating comic book panels I went to was just a bunch of cover artists talking about like the process of being a cover artist. And I can barely draw a stick figure. Right. It was just a fascinating
and all the stuff
panel
that you don't think about that goes into that. Yeah.
And so that would interest me, but also, you know, there's less like on hand stuff at a comic convention. So,
well, I don't know, man. There wasn't a lot to do at PAX either. So I don't know. I was like looking to spend money there. There wasn't even anything to buy unless you're like a gamer TM. Like, you know, I need a new keyboard. I need a fucking 12K monitor. I need more RGB lights for my computer. You know, like if you weren't looking for that shit, like there was a Pokemon vending machine. Spent a lot of money there. That was cool.
W. I think Too Many Games is way more the convention that you go to spend money.
Well, like so Rose City Comic Con, I was there yesterday. I spent like $500 before it even opened.
Dang.
There was like so much to buy. It was insane.
Like what kind of stuff are you talking
about? Mostly more Pokemon.
That's why I think Too Many Games is more that sort of thing. Like it's more vendor focused than PAX is. Like PAX is way more like demo these video games, you know, than it is like buy things.
Yeah. Well, and the demos were cool. Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
Well, no, go ahead.
I was going to say, I assume it's probably also harder to be a vendor at a PAX. Like, whatever the price to be a vendor is probably too steep to just show up and sell plush.
And I would imagine you have to very much conform to trademark and copyright laws.
Yeah.
Because if you're selling
the companies
like
are just literally there.
And Nintendo is there, that's not going to go well for you.
Yeah.
I just love the idea of someone selling not official Nintendo
shit
and Reggie walking by now and being like,
it's got to be Reggie.
like just like, I don't work there anymore, man, but this is risky.
Yeah.
If I can imagine Reggie buys one. You know, Reggie loves buying a pin, and pins are big there. Imagine he bought like a fucking Squirtle, like not Squirtle, but Squirtle pin just to give out to somebody. That'd have been hilarious.
Yep. I can see it.
Yeah. But AJ is 100% right. It's a demo thing. The problem though is like a lot of the games are like demoing and like coming out on Steam, and they're like PC games, and I am not a PC gamer. So
Yeah.
like it's just not my scene very much, is what I learned. I would definitely go again, like to hang out with people, but I would want to like either have a media badge, like because I've attained that level of success, or know that some friends are going, that like we're gonna make plans to do stuff afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Yeah.
think the other circumstance would be worth it again.
Mm-hmm. I definitely like if I didn't do what I do, I would go to hang out probably for like a day if it was like
Yeah.
close to me. Like I'd be down
Right.
for that. But like just because I know so many people that do the same thing, and also I do have that access,
Mhm.
it's worth it. It's
Yeah.
really fun.
And like for me, right, it's like a 2.5, 3 hour drive. So like it
Mhm.
wasn't terrible to get there at all. But you know, like you know, if more homies were there, it would be a lot more fun.
It's true because then there's a lot more options of like stuff to do.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not just the convention. It's a friend hangout situation.
Mhm.
Mhm. And like, I had Eric. That was cool. So it was
True.
Eric and I the whole time. That was fun.
That's right.
We love you, Eric. But
So
yeah,
that was PAX. AJ
W.
should have gone. In summation. Oh
It's
wait, there
true.
was
I
one other
saw.
thing I wanted to
Oh
talk
yeah,
about.
yeah.
I can't believe I missed this. So there was a Panda Pro, almost pro gaming tour for Smash Bros. There.
I don't know why they called it that.
Yeah, because there were actual legitimate pros.
Yeah.
Like, how are you defining pro? They are getting paid to play the game.
Mhm. Like the marketing of it sounded like it was like an Arcadian where like you
Facts.
couldn't enter if you were ranked.
Yeah,
But
I think that they were just doing it that way to try to encourage people to try to enter.
yeah.
It's like, I get it, but like none of the like the top three were exactly who you would expect the top three to
Yep.
be.
The seating was very easy for that event, I am sure.
Yeah. But like, so because there wasn't like that much to do in terms of like, oh, I'm not really trying to be a PC gamer sweat.
Mhm.
We sat down at the Panda booth for a while and just started watching some of these events. And like, it was so much fun. I didn't realize
It's a
how
W,
enjoyable it
man.
was to just watch Smash Live.
Mhm.
Yeah. And like,
It's
I'm
a
a sweat
huge
now
W.
playing the game.
Yo, there's Riptide happening right now. Granted,
Is it?
I would yeah, it's a Smash Major in where is this one at? I don't remember this one's at. Ohio. It's in Ohio.
Oh, I'm sorry. Y'all got to go to Ohio to play
I wouldn't
Smash?
say go there. I'm just saying it's streaming. But
some people gotta go there. Otherwise,
Yeah,
it's not a stream.
that's L for them,
True.
dude.
No, but I was just saying I wouldn't tell Trev to go there and watch it.
No. Yeah, no. I'm talking about the players.
Yeah, because me personally, I think that unless you're like playing, even if you're not competing, but unless you're playing and like getting friendlies with people, it's very akin to sports where it's like it's better if you're like watching it, like the experience of watching for the purpose of watching. It is better to watch online than it is to watch in person. So yeah, I was like, if you enjoyed watching that, I would at least say like keep an eye on like the majors that are happening, and watch them like on Sunday because
definitely will.
that's when they're hype. You get the top 8, and the level of play is insane.
The atmosphere and just watching what these people were doing was crazy.
You get all the storylines of like this match matters because this and they have this rivalry and this person won this many tournaments and this person hasn't won a set against this person in this long. Like
this is their history. Like here's the versus record overall. There's what this character versus this character. I love that.
Yep. So yeah, check out Riptide. It's a W.
Play me in Smash, somebody, and fucking get nared by my fucking boy Link boy.
Oh yeah, speaking of that, again, hit up Mars. I was talking to him about that too. I was talking to him about you picking up Young Link, and he was like, "Yeah, I could definitely help." So
W. I'm gonna find that dude that I met at Comic-Con yesterday who said that Smash isn't a fighting game, and I'm gonna fucking nair him to hell.
That's a fact.
All right, Alec, let's move on. Let's talk about some crazy shit.
Okay, here we go. This is going to be kind of like a lightning round, I think.
This shit's insane.
Because we don't need to be here for the next 3 hours.
4 hours? Yeah.
We're gonna get Trump out of the way right away. So special master filing went through because, shockingly, the judge that decided this was a judge that Donald Trump appointed, which feels
come on.
should not be something that you're allowed to
Yeah.
rule on.
Yeah.
Well, it's wild because it's one of those things where it's like, no, the law doesn't exist preventing this because we never thought this would be a thing that happened.
Yeah. So basically, what it comes down to is the DOJ is no longer allowed to look through the documents and decide to act on any of them until a lawyer is elected, an independent lawyer is elected by this judge to go through and decide what of these documents is attorney-client privilege, what is relevant to the investigation. Which is stupid. The DOJ has already said, we've looked through everything.
And they also said too, like, this is the DOJ has disagreed with the assertion that there's no easy way to tell what's classified and what isn't, based on the fact that classified documents are marked classified.
Yes.
But like, no, it's actually a very easy task.
The most crazy part about this ruling, though, is actually not Trump specific. Basically, the reason that the judge gave that she is doing this is because of potential damage to Trump's reputation.
And she said the appearance of fairness.
Yes. So you now, based on this precedent, could say, no, you cannot search my phone.
No.
And talk about it in court because maybe that might damage my record. It might make me look bad just because you're looking like it.
But that doesn't work for you. It doesn't work for you.
No, it does.
You're not the president.
He's not either.
He's a president. And that's apparently the same thing to him.
Yeah. Well, that's what he thinks.
So
yeah. I mean, apparently it's what they think too.
Yeah. Well, it's still unclear. This one
I
judge.
still think that if this was Obama, none of this would be happening.
Oh God,
he would be in prison already.
No. Yeah.
Probably. Probably, almost certainly.
Likely.
The DOJ has already appealed it to the judge and has been like,
Correct.
hey, you need to like stop this shit because it's crazy.
Know your role.
Or we are going to the next court. The problem is the next court is the 11th Circuit Court, which Trump appointed like 40% of. So
what's the court after that, though? That's the good news, right?
The Supreme Court?
Oh.
The Supreme Court?
Almost like he stacked the fucking deck.
Almost like Republicans for decades have been stacking the deck by packing the court with crazy conservatives.
Amazing.
But we had another fun legal / Donald Trump news come out in the.
Have to be clear, this is very unrelated to what's happening.
Very unrelated.
But it's fucking hilarious.
He tried to pay a lawyer who he owed $2 million to with a horse.
With literally a horse. Literally.
Was the horse Rapidash? Because that might be a good deal. That might be a good deal.
A real Rapidash that doesn't burn you if it trusts you?
Yes, exactly. A real life Rapidash. Might take that trade.
So here's the quote. The unidentified lawyer from a law firm that worked for Trump in the 90s visited the former president at Trump Tower after he refused to pay, according to The Guardian. Trump made some apologetic noises. Then he said, I'm not going to pay your bill.
Apologetic noises.
Apologetic noises got me dead. Absolutely.
He made.
I'm going to give you something more valuable, Enrich wrote, per The Guardian. The former president then rummaged around a filing cabinet and pulled out a deed to a horse supposedly worth $5 million.
What the fuck?
Once he regained the capacity for speech, the lawyer reportedly said, this isn't the 1800s. You can't pay me with a horse. Doesn't sound like it was a Rapidash.
I need no more context for any of this. That's hilarious.
That's hilarious. That's objectively fucking hilarious.
Thus ends.
And also not surprising. That's like the least surprising thing I've ever heard.
God, no. This man wants to be a mafia boss. I mean, he is a mafia boss at this point. He is.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just the shittiest crime family of all time.
Yeah. And yet
I mean, the thing is, man, it's like AJ said, like if he wasn't him, he would probably already be in jail.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think if he wasn't him is too broad.
Right. Okay. If he wasn't
It's
a
too
white
broad.
man
Yeah,
who was formerly
I think,
the president.
I think any other president that's not Barack Obama would have been also fine.
Absolutely.
Just wild. Just
Like,
wild.
look at all the shit that Bush did, and then he painted some people, and all of a sudden everyone was friends with him.
That man's literally a war criminal.
All
like
of a
that's
sudden,
crazy.
everyone was like, "Oh, George Bush, he's such a
Even
sweetie.
liberals.
He's
I'll
painting."
never forgive liberals for that. Liberals are fucking dick writing for George Bush now. They're like, man, remember George Bush wasn't actually that bad. That man is a war criminal.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
I can't.
All right. George Bush is actually not a topic of discussion today.
No. I was talking about Trump stuff too, which is crazy.
We're done with Trump. Moving on. Like I said, go. Oathkeeper list leaked, and surprise, surprise, elected officials and police chiefs are on the list.
And for those who don't know, the
Egad.
are an extremist white supremacist group.
Gasp.
Yeah, gasp. Shocked.
So the Anti-Defamation League identified more than 370 people it believes currently work in law enforcement agencies, including as police chiefs and sheriffs, and more than 100 people who are currently members of the military. It also identified more than 80 people who are running for or served in public office as of early August. The membership information was compiled into a database published by the Transparency Collective, Distributed Denial of Secrets. So, shockingly, racist in the government.
Look, Alec, I
shook
think
it.
you're not being fair. They're not racist. They just think whites are better.
Fair enough, dude.
So yeah.
What's that Rage Against the Machine song?
I don't know.
Killing in the Name of, I think. And the line is, some of those that work forces are the same that burn crosses.
Yes.
It's like, yep. That song's not new. I'm just saying. This has always been the case.
Yeah, exactly. Neither is this situation.
Right.
Neither is this happening. The fact that, yeah, I mean, the system supports racism. Shocker.
Shocking.
It was founded on it. You know,
It's
like
Exactly. Saying it supports it is actually an understatement. The system is propped up by racism.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Modern day sheriff departments and cops are the direct descendants of
literally
people who rounded up slaves
Literally.
who ran away.
Literally. Even the look at the badges. They're not even trying to hide it.
Nope.
Like,
Nope.
mhm.
So
We're rapid firing though.
Rapid
We're
fire.
moving on right along.
federal judge rules that employers can refuse to cover PrEP, which is an HIV prevention drug, on religious grounds.
Yeah, dude. That makes
What?
sense though.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Also, this tweet is great. Jesus of Nazareth posting a list of medical conditions he wouldn't heal. Fucking hilarious. Because, right, if it's religious grounds, what religious grounds? The gays deserve to die?
That's what
Is
I
that
wanted
your
to
religion?
know.
So here's the
Yeah,
thing.
that's what I wanted
Yeah,
to know.
if like PrEP is much more used in the gay community because guess what? It helps prevent the spread of HIV,
Right.
which is great.
Which
And for
disproportionately
years-
impacts the gay community.
Yes, and well, not anymore. You're more likely to be a straight person if you have HIV than you are to be a gay person.
Because
And-
straights don't practice sexual safety.
Exactly.
True. True.
But so PrEP, for the most part, is a drug that is taken mostly by gay men. But say you're a straight man, you meet a woman, you love her, you want to get married, you're together, but this woman is HIV positive.
See, that's my religion.
What do you do to stop from becoming a second HIV positive person in that relationship? You get prescribed PrEP.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, man, can't marry her. Jesus said
Can't
no.
marry her. Yep. Jesus said no, exactly.
Jesus said no.
Got to consult the Oracle. Oracle said no. So I have to tell you.
So yeah, this is stupid. This is bullshit.
It's insane. It's targeted
very
harassment. I mean, like,
yeah.
I think that even that is like sanitizing it a bit, you know, like it's a little further than harassment.
yeah, right. They want, right. Because, and that's the thing too, like Alex said, it actually doesn't even disproportionately affect gay people anymore, but they want to continue that stigma and try to punish these people.
Mm-hmm.
Insane. The religious grounds thing too is fucking wild to me.
Fucking hilarious. Like I can't with it at all. Like you can't have medicine. You don't fucking think they had medicine in the time of Jesus?
Nah, Jesus was the medicine,
You
bro.
can't give them medicine. You can't give the people that are the bad people medicine. You know?
The bad
Jesus
people,
don't,
you know?
Yeah, you know, Jesus don't like that.
That's true.
Apparently.
Jesus did hate sex workers too. So.
True, yeah. Jesus, he didn't help them at all.
Nah,
Yeah,
Not a single time. That's not documented.
not one of his
Jesus
best
was
friends or anything. Or
Yeah,
Jesus,
of course
Jesus
not.
was actually was
not.
big for saying like, my mom didn't have sex to have me, so why should you have sex? He was
It's
big on
true.
that.
Jesus, it turns out, actually, he's the one that coined no new friends.
Jesus.
Moving
Jesus
on
only rolls with
to
the angels, dude.
another person who should never have sex ever again.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
That is a fact.
Ted Cruz. What? Okay, do we have to listen to this, Trev? I didn't listen to
There
this.
is some audio you want to hear here, yeah, because it's kind of wild.
Okay.
It
So,
sets up the
Senator, I
next
mean, you don't
one
like to see.
pretty perfectly.
So, Senator, I mean, you don't like to see your fellow Americans without power in the summertime, but we kind of know what the solution is, do we not?
You know, it's not complicated. It's an all-of-the-above energy policy. It's a policy that lets people heat their homes and cool their homes and drive their cars and get to work and take care of their kids. And I got to say that opening monologue you just did, it really did illustrate the modern Democratic Party, which is of the rich, by the rich, and for the rich. Today's Democrat Party is all about California environmentalist billionaires. I love that Gavin Newsom was wearing his fleece, obviously in cool air conditioning, saying, let them eat cake, let them sweat, you don't get air conditioning. It's like John Kerry, who flies his private jet all over the planet, lecturing people that you poor gritty working class with dirt under your fingernails, you need to go without an automobile. You need to turn your air conditioner off. In fact, you need to just stay home and eat worms. It is truly a contempt for working class men and women, and that's led to the flip, which is today's Republican Party is the party of truck drivers and steel workers and waiters and waitresses and cops and firefighters. And I think that's the most significant political shift we've seen in decades.
It is significant. It kind of reminds me of when Newsom shut all the public schools down during COVID and then.
Hate these people.
Yep. Terrible human being. The thing is, he's not even wrong about some of it, right? I mean,
No. Politicians are
Absolutely
awful and hypocritical.
But for this man specifically to come after Gavin Newsom for quote unquote wearing a fleece and having his AC or whatever when
he was fucking fleeing the country.
fleeing the literal
I didn't even look ahead. I was like, this is about the Cancun trip.
Yes. Did you guys know that one of the reasons this leaked is because Heidi, his wife, invited their neighbors and their neighbors hate them so much that they leaked this information?
Yes, I did know that.
Fucking hilarious, dude. So yeah, this motherfucker presides over a state that literally in the middle of a snowstorm and freezing temperatures was without power because the privatized power grid failed. Shocker. And his response was to flee the country to Mexico because it's warmer there. But he's going to criticize Gavin Newsom about this. Fucking insane.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Insane.
Piece of shit.
Yep.
On to another piece of shit.
Yo, this is wild. Yeah. So Tom Cotton, apropos of like nothing too, seemingly, just tweets, we don't have an over incarceration problem. We have an under incarceration problem.
What the fuck?
Yep. Straight up. Like what?
I love that this man's last name is Cotton.
Yo, it's the most. It's so on
So
brand.
terrible.
It's
so
so on
terrible.
brand.
Every time I'm like, damn. Sometimes he just
He's
really...
literally a cartoon villain.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yes. Yes.
Also, I love the number one tweet I have showing up under it, which is working on it. Steve Bannon
Is Steve
entering
Bannon
the
being
courtroom.
arraigned? Yep. Fantastic. Fantastic. You know what? In that sense, he's right. We do have an under incarceration problem. I'd like to second that.
But I did pull some supporting material for Mr. Cotton.
Yes, one
out of five five prisoners in the world is incarcerated in the U.S. We beat China.
Yeah, but to be fair, we have 20% of the world's population too, right?
Oh my god.
Oh, we don't?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oof.
Yep.
Like,
oof.
You just what? 1 out of 5.
Hey man, with a little work, we could really pump those numbers up.
Doesn't China have something like 3 times the amount of people that we have?
Yes,
Maybe
literally.
even more than that?
Yes. And don't we constantly hear about, like, rightly so, we
Yeah.
should hear about the atrocities that China does, but about their internment camps and about how, like, dangerous their government is and how their government's going to put you in jail. And we're out here like, nah.
And it's like, we'll do the thing where it's like, yeah, but they're doing it on religious grounds. They're like doing genocides. And it's like, we kind of are too, man. I mean,
absolutely.
I don't know. Like,
I wouldn't even say kinda.
Yeah,
absolutely.
right.
How many of those people are in prison because of like marijuana?
Right. We're just not literally murdering them.
I mean, how many people
we're
are in
slowly
prison
doing it
just because
they're black? Yeah.
Like, that's
right. How many people are in prison, like Age said, with the marijuana crimes in a state where marijuana is now fucking legal, and a bunch of white people have swooped in and are now fucking millionaires?
Yeah,
because they were able to come in legally, and
which is the same thing as imprison them because they're black. Like a lot of shit like that is like them being like, all right, we're not allowed to like enslave them anymore. So now we're gonna try to basically do that by targeting things that we perceive to be and are a lot of times just literally more common with that group of people.
I mean, even then, drug use is not more common with black people. It's just persecuted at a higher rate. Yeah, like people of all fucking backgrounds do drugs at very equal rates statistically.
Yes,
it's funny.
They just don't look for it in white communities.
When you over police and over sample a group,
that's
of people,
what happens.
It's almost
it gets
like you send more of them to prison.
It's like what you actually do is you pass laws that would adversely affect anyone if you were to accurately
if you were to look
every
for
group.
It.
Correct.
The thing is, like, it's super easy to find the conclusion you want if you look for the conclusion you want in any context.
Facts. Yeah. Well, it's like we talked about, this was months ago now, but there was that, I forget where, but he's like the, prison warden basically saying, look, if we stop arresting people and like letting people go on good behavior, we're going to not be able to run the state anymore. Like we need slave labor, guys.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Absolutely. Like,
saying it out loud, man.
As we get closer to holidays, I'll make sure to find a list because they'll be out there of like, here's all the companies that their holiday things are just made by slave labor in the U.S. Literally. Another thing that we're always like, but China. It's like, we do it here.
But they're prisoners, so it's okay to dehumanize them.
They got caught buying like a Lucy or some shit.
That's the thing too, is like, I don't know. I mean, it just, because like, what are we told when you're a kid, right? Oh, if you can't do the time, don't do the crime. It's like, motherfucker, I bought a loose cigarette. What kind of time am I doing for this?
Yeah.
It's like, it's that bootlicking mentality. This is actually okay because they deserve this.
It's true.
And then we go down the path of recidivism and what kind of life do we let them lead afterwards?
Well, and that's the thing too, is like prison is not good at actually rehabilitating people. And there are countries that have come up with prison systems that are good at rehabilitating people. One of the best ways to do that, it turns out, is to treat people like humans and put them in the position where they no longer feel they have to commit crimes to live.
Right.
Like, but not even thrive,
also,
but to live.
Also, and see, this is the thing, and this will come up in some form a little later. I think that's because like the prison system is not trying to rehabilitate people.
Correct.
No, they
In
want them
large
back.
part due to how our prison system is like, or how our prisons are filled, and with the types of people that they're filled with.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They don't want to help them. Like,
Right.
No.
they want to enslave them. It turns out.
Facts. Literally.
Shocker.
Right.
Shocker.
Because like there are other countries who it's like, oh, what we actually do with people who have been imprisoned, especially for things like nonviolent crimes, is we don't lock them up. They actually have free reign to move around. We get them involved in a trade. They learn a skill. So when they're out of prison,
Right.
they actually are immediately employable. You
But
break the cycle.
But to not give them undue credit, we got to look at the percentages of how their prisons break down,
Yeah.
like in terms of groups of people. There's
Oh,
a
no, for
reason
sure.
why they care about rehabilitating the people
Yeah,
that
like
are
I think
in their
the
prison
Netherlands
systems.
comes out.
And
on
it's
Oh,
top.
not
absolutely.
because they're a better country.
I mean, they think,
I
well, I don't know. How
yeah,
you
I
treat,
disagree.
right, I understand what you're saying, but how you
Uh-huh.
treat people in prison does matter. The fact that they
It
might
definitely
have
does, for
lower
sure. But
percentages
the
of people
reason
of
why
color in
they're
prison,
treating, yeah,
like I
that's
understand I understand that's what you're getting at, but that's not like a bad thing.
it's
That
not a
they have
bad thing,
lower,
for sure.
you know,
No.
you know.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is like giving them flowers because it's like they treat people like they're people. It's
People,
like,
right.
yeah, but that's
Yeah.
because they perceive the people that are in prison to be more
As people, right.
Yeah,
And I guess I don't mean to be giving these countries flowers. I just mean to be saying like look how bad we are doing it,
yeah.
Because and to your point, because that's intentional. None of this is by accident.
No.
Like the system
Yeah.
is not broken. It is working as designed.
It's working as
We have
intended.
for-profit prisons
Yes.
that sell slave
Insane.
labor and
Literally.
are stocked by the over-policing of neighborhoods of people of color.
Yep.
Yep.
Which then creates a cycle. Because if you're locking up, parents,
Mm-hmm.
kids lose their parents.
Yeah.
Like, then what?
Yep.
Then maybe they go steal from the neighborhood corner store because they don't have a stable food source. Or money because they're a fucking child. And they end up in juvenile hall. And then, yep. Yeah, that'd just be a whole episode.
Working as designed.
Yep.
Have you seen this?
Yes.
This is real.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I saw it. Yep.
And then, so go to the thread though too. Like go down because
my
it gets
God.
better.
Okay.
So
I didn't even know, like, I don't know how this stupid trend started. I just one
Same.
day was on Twitter and everyone was tweeting one word and I was like, what the fuck?
Democracy, yeah.
And I saw this one specifically and I was like, okay, all right, social media intern, step off. Like, no, you don't need to participate in every Twitter trend. And then, yes, the Libertarian Party is mob rule that endangers individual rights.
That's how they feel about democracy. Facts.
I mean, we are... Yep. Nope. There's no...
Nope.
All Republicans want to do about wokeness is whine. Libertarians have solutions. Repeal the Civil Rights Act.
Yep.
Oof.
I want to be clear too. If you look at the two tweets, those are two different Libertarian Party Twitter accounts. Like, this is a platform.
And then what would that be? New Hampshire, probably?
New Hampshire, I would imagine. Yeah. Just saying.
I would check
Just
out.
saying. It's a party platform.
Oh my God.
Very woke of them.
How insane must it be to be Ilhan Omar in the U.S. House of Representatives?
I couldn't imagine.
Absolutely insane must it be to be that woman.
Literally just showing up to do your job is like,
dangerous.
You're brave. Yes.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. Like,
Quite
that's a national
unbelievable. Yeah. It's pretty unbelievable. It's pretty unreal.
But yes, as has been mentioned before on the show, the Libertarians are terrible and they want to marry children.
They want to fuck kids and repeal the Civil Rights Act, and that's pretty much all they want.
Yep.
But
True.
if you're white and a landowner, to be fair, they want you to be able to do whatever you want to.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
you know, hey, if you meet that criteria, go fuck yourself. So yeah, moving on to the next topic here. Just want to remind everybody in America, which, you know, we like to shit on other countries for all these crazy things that happen. We had an elected official murder a journalist who was writing an expose on them. Actually had written one already, I guess, and gotten them fired or something along those lines.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. America, though, is a very cool country where stuff like this doesn't happen. That only happens in Russia.
Yep.
But yeah, I literally stabbed him to death. And they found the guy because the journalist had his DNA under his fingernails, like the textbook defensive wound thing,
Yeah.
you know?
Like this is an episode of CSI Miami.
Literally. Yeah. And so he just murdered this man because he didn't like the article he wrote about him.
Crazy.
Wow.
Very normal, cool stuff happening in the United States.
A public administrator, like he's barely even.
He's an elected official, but
An
he's
elected
barely
official.
an elected official.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
He probably ran unopposed, if we're
Like,
being
does anyone
honest.
here even know what their public administrators or their county clerks' names are? No.
No,
I assume it's a result of nepotism.
Wow.
probably.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah, it's just insane. This was floating around, and it's like not getting a lot of attention.
Of course.
I think it's one of those. Yeah, right. Of course not. But it's like this is an insane thing to actually have happen. To just be murdering journalists.
Yeah. Gross.
Damn, this guy doesn't even have crazy politician money. He's being represented by a public defender.
Crazy.
Crazy.
He might be rich one day, though. You never know.
Never know.
I'd still be kind of surprised if his sentencing made sense.
Oh, yeah.
He's gonna get off on good behavior. 5
Yeah.
years.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely.
They're going to be like, well,
Like,
that stabbing wasn't intentional.
Journalists
didn't mean to
do
do it.
kind of be asking for it. So I don't know.
Wow. Okay.
All right, bruv. It's Tuesday. You know what that means?
All
Time
right.
for the Queen,
All
innit?
right. All right.
Have you seen this?
I watched it because you put it on
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. This is the best video, and it sums up my feelings 1,000% about the Queen.
Yeah.
Get fucked.
Just
Rip
in case.
Bozo.
Okay, so I don't know. I didn't look through all of these articles because work.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's important to mention when we're talking about Irish people being like "fuck you," that we often think of the famine as like
Mhm.
there wasn't enough food for the Irish.
Right.
When in actuality, there was. It was just
Mhm.
stolen by the British.
Yeah.
So
Well, because it was theirs anyways, because they're Brits.
yeah.
Manifest
So-
destiny and all.
So any
Good job.
Irish person ever who's like, yeah, fuck them, you're like, yep, yeah, I know, I get it. I mean, for many
get it.
other reasons after too, but that's one of them. Like you hear about
That's a
the
good-
potato famine all the time, but you don't hear about the fact that like
It was actually just genocide.
it was actually just the Brits trying to systematically erase people. It's fine.
Yeah.
Um,
Not the only time they've done
no.
that either.
Checks out. It's on brand for them.
It's very on brand for them. That is their culture.
Yeah.
Like we talk about culture. That's literally their culture.
Queen
this
Elizabeth
is
II's bees have been informed
Yeah.
of her death.
This is real and fucking weird. Brits are fucking weird, dude. This is weird. They literally went and told the bees.
In keeping with strange tradition, royal beekeeper tells Buckingham Palace hives that King Charles III is their new master.
Somebody had to do that, and he gets paid taxpayer dollars to do it.
I love that it says, "Can you see the queen bee?" And it's like, well,
Cringe.
Oh my god.
Cringe.
Yeah, this is. Oh my god. The fuck.
Yeah. This was a throwaway little like I can't. This is real. I can't believe this is fucking real. I thought that was an Onion article.
True.
An incomplete list of British crimes across the world under the reign of Elizabeth II. Oof.
It's very incomplete. It's very incomplete. Let me tell.
This is gonna be rough. In 1952, Churchill argued Kenyon's fertile highlands should only be for white people, and approved the forcible removal of the local population. Hundreds of thousands of Kenyans were forced into camps. Can't get worse, right? On the 30th of January 1972, Bloody Sunday Massacre was perpetrated by the Parachute Regiment of the British Army, who killed 14 civilians at a peaceful protest march. Following the massacre, the British lied about the victims. Another reason for the Irish to hate the British. Britain under Blair invaded Iraq and killed over 1 million people. It's been a long time since I've seen that man's stupid face. Displaced millions more, brought unknowable depths of suffering to Iraqi people, and gave birth to ISIS. Prince Harry, Elizabeth's grandson, who boasted he killed in Afghanistan. He flew Apache helicopters and coordinated jets to drop 500-pound bombs on people he called Terry Taliban.
Cool behavior, very normal.
Yep, very, very, very non-psychopathic behavior. Britain carried out a covert war in Yemen, which led to 200,000 deaths between 1962 and 70, and killed with impunity in Aden. Today, Britain arms, advises, and oversees Saudi Arabia bombing Yemen. Pictured here is what Libya was transformed into after 6 months of NATO bombing, which assisted thousands of terrorists backed by Britain. The British government played an integral role in ensuring the most developed country in Africa, as per the UN's Human Development Index, was crushed. In 1953, Britain under Churchill ordered the overthrowing of the democratically elected leader of British Guinea. He dispatched troops and warships and suspended their constitution, all to put a stop to the government's nationalization plan. Wow. I'm not going to keep reading these.
Yeah, we don't have to go through all of them, but the list is incomplete. Let's keep that in mind.
Yeah, incomplete. Just one of those. Enough to say fuck her.
Yeah. Oh yeah, any one of those. 100%. And that's the thing too, is because like a lot of people will jump right to the defense of, well, she didn't do that.
Yeah,
she wasn't responsible for those things.
It's so weird because like, how can you simultaneously literally worship this woman?
Mm-hmm.
And then also immediately default to like, she's just a frail old lady. You know,
she's just there to like comfort us, bro.
Yeah, exactly. She's just a mascot.
Yeah, she didn't have power.
You can't. The worshiping doesn't make sense if she's just a mascot.
Yeah,
facts.
This is just funny. President Trump and Queen Elizabeth II were very close. Pray for both families during this time of grieving. And the person who retweeted was like, okay, praying he gets to see her again soon.
Facts.
I
don't pray for a lot, but I would pray for that.
Crown jewels. They're stolen from India and Africa. And should be returned.
Valued at over $500 million each. Like, it's crazy when it's like one of those things, right? Where it's like Republicans do this all the time, where they're like light a house on fire and then they'll be like, man, we got issues with fires in this place.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're going to go and rob a country, steal all their natural resources, fucking flaunt it by literally wearing it, and then be like, this country can't fend for itself. They don't have any natural resources. They're very impoverished. They need our help.
So yeah,
fucking insane, dude.
All this on the crown, stolen.
Very heavy crown too. So you gotta rip her neck. Putting up with all that.
So fucking insane. Like nothing about this whole thing makes me more angry than people being like, I can't believe you would speak ill of the dead.
Yeah.
Her. like fuck her. I was telling
while you're alive.
Yeah, I was talking to Wes about this, and like it's like the whole thing of like whenever people are like, oh, like, why would you speak ill of the dead? She died, blah blah blah, shit. Like, if hell is a thing that exists, why? Like, that's what, like, hell is for her. Like,
her.
for people like her, that's where they go. That's
Like,
what they
we
do
didn't-
with those people,
Right.
Yeah, like,
We didn't even get into it, but she's a slaver.
yeah.
I mean, they're literally slavers. That's what they did. That's one of the one of the ways that they exerted their power over the world.
Well, and
Like, if that's not what that's for, what is it for? What do you have to do?
I also didn't pull this, but like she went through many lengths in her lifetime to get their wealth hidden from the British public. So, like,
She tried to change laws.
Yeah,
Transparency law.
They did.
Yes.
So, like, you don't know what all they have because it's not reported.
And, like, she's also been the queen for like 80 years.
Yeah.
So like, that's a long time, you know? That's
Yeah,
a lot of stuff that she
a lot
presided
of publicly known shitty stuff.
over. Facts.
But again, it's of the time. Back then it was
man.
cool,
We
so
didn't
now
know.
it's cool. You can't.
We didn't know it wasn't okay to fucking have slaves, dude. We didn't know back then.
She has met and spoken with every prime minister in the UK who was born in the last century. 101 years apart. Liz Truss, who was just elected, and the first prime minister that she had contact with. A century.
Also, what Kate just brought up.
Like, also, though, I mean, one thing I will give her, meeting Liz Truss, the current horrible woman who is the prime minister of the UK, and immediately dying, that's a power move. Immediately being like, no, fuck this. I'm out. You guys are screwed. She knew what was coming. But yeah.
And then what Kate said too, let's not forget something that she did very recently, shutting her grandson and saying you shouldn't get to be prince because he was a 1/4 black. Yeah, and like, what's her name? Is it Meghan? Prince Harry's wife?
Yes, Meghan Markle.
Yeah.
Who's a woman of color,
Mm-hmm.
has been shunned and abused by the royal family because she's not up to snuff.
Yeah.
Which just means she's not white.
She's not white. She's not white enough.
Yeah.
And even, let's be fair, it's not that, to be fair, it's not just a white thing for them, because Princess Diana wasn't royal enough for them either, right? Like, it's not just a white thing.
Yeah,
but that's definitely part of it.
But it falls under a similar thing. She's got,
Right.
They both had, bad
It's
blood.
a bloodline thing, and that's fucking cringe.
And
Like,
that's gross. But yes,
it's insane.
The Meghan is much more motivated by also the fact that she is not a white woman. And
and
there
her
were
cousin
actual
also
reports
her
of people being like, what color is the baby going to be
That's insane.
while she was pregnant? So fuck all of them.
I also didn't know this. Princess Di, apparently, super fucking rich and basically royalty
Yeah. She was
in her own right.
She was a massive, like, rich socialite. Like,
Yeah. Also not good enough for this woman, though. Like, fuck the monarchy, dude.
yeah. Well, yeah.
The only one good enough for my son is my daughter.
Yeah.
That's the mentality.
His second cousin.
That's right.
But yeah, the streets people are like, the queen isn't responsible for all these atrocities. She just supported them in a highly public, highly symbolic, ceremonial capacity that manufactured popular consent for all those atrocities. Totally different.
Facts. That's the thing. And it's like, so like what AJ was talking about it being a mascot or whatever, right? It's like, yo, okay, so even if she's just the mascot, which is not true, even if, all right, if the mascot starts championing things like human rights, imagine what that would do to the population.
Yep.
But she didn't. She chose not to do that.
No. Speaking again of Princess Di, in the 80s, when the AIDS epidemic was happening,
Right.
Princess Diana decided she was going to spend all her time advocating for those people and doing outreach.
And treating them like human beings.
And the royals were like, stop that.
Gross.
Don't touch a gay. Don't.
How dare.
How dare.
Didn't she even say hugging and giving people with AIDS handshakes like isn't dangerous. So
Yeah.
do it because
Yeah.
God knows they need it. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
She was a good lady.
Yeah. Well, she was better.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know. I refuse to believe anyone from then is like good. But like, you know, she was certainly better.
Yeah.
I don't know what this
I
is
just
trying
want-
to tell me.
Yeah. So go down. Just
Okay.
go down to the royal powers are limited but significant. Keep scrolling. It's a bold it's a bold part. Oh, you need to read you need to have the article.
Uh-huh.
You can't get into the whole article.
Yep.
I see that. I can read it what it says here. It just goes into the Queen Elizabeth because the whole argument about how she actually is just a figurehead doesn't have that much power. Okay. So constitutionally, that bitch we're back and she's dead.
Facts. W for the world.
Facts.
We're back. The queen took out my power.
Still dead. She's still dead. It's okay.
The ghost of Queen Elizabeth II, came to my little Wisconsin town and took out the power. But we're back.
We have returned.
And do we have anything else to say about the queen?
She's terrible and she deserves what she got. It should have happened sooner.
Should have happened sooner. My last thought is more. Give me more.
Yeah.
Remove the monarchy entirely. Why the
So-
fuck does it even exist? Like,
So one of the things that like I had a coworker say, because I was at work when she died, and they're like, isn't it sad? And I'm like, no, why do they have monarchs?
No.
Like, why is this still a thing? And she's like, well, they
It's not
generate a
sad.
lot of tourism revenue. And I'm like, yeah, and if you stopped paying them and got
You
rid
wouldn't
of
need it.
their role and turned everything that they currently own that they don't really own because it belongs to the state
other
into fucking
other
museums,
countries.
or yes,
True.
I say you give the other countries back their shit,
Yeah.
and then you take all the royal shit that has
Castles.
been bought with taxpayer money and make a
Mhm.
museum out of their shit,
Mm-hmm.
and people will still go see that.
Yeah.
Which is weird. People will still dick ride for that. That's a fact.
It's very weird.
It's
but
very
it's
weird.
true.
But
Yo, look
it's
at this
true.
toilet seat that Queen Elizabeth sat on once. Isn't that crazy?
So crazy. Yeah. Oh my god.
That was
Fuck the
so.
Queen.
So I tweeted, I was like, idolizing people is weird, which I always say some level of this, and this was in part that, you know, because like I wanted to tweet something, but I didn't want to make like a whole thing out of it because I don't feel like arguing with people on the timeline. But yeah, this was part of it. It's like that shit is so fucked. Like, even if she wasn't a terrible person,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of crazy that people are going like doing this because she died. And
Like,
it's not
also-
even like she wasn't murdered. You know,
Exactly.
she didn't die of like disease.
She
Yo,
fucking had her time in the
expiration
sun.
date came. It was
Facts.
done for her. It was up.
96
expired.
is old.
You know, she didn't get fucking trying to up B and get, down
Yeah.
smashed. Like, like
Facts.
it was her time.
She died at like 200%. She was way
Facts.
past her stock was
Seriously.
very done.
That's like 200% as a Sora main.
Yeah.
Like, she was way overdue.
You guys are nerds.
Yes, it's a good video game, Alec.
That's true. It's a good video game.
Nerds. All right, we're done talking about the fucking queen.
Yeah, fuck the Queen.
The facts.
We're going to talk about one of our other favorite topics,
Yeah.
capitalism.
Love
Right?
you.
Love it.
True. Love it. Love
Love
that.
it. Love
Yo,
the
without capitalism, we might have like a safe world to pass on to our children, and that sucks. That would be shitty.
Yeah, it's that. Fuck them kids.
Fuck them kids.
So we're talking about quiet quitting, apparently.
Yeah, this was making the rounds on Twitter a little bit ago.
Stick to
And
the
it's just
job
wild.
description and stop taking on added responsibilities or extra work hours.
And like, to be clear, this is a magazine, Fortune magazine, who's arguing that this quiet quitting is happening. And this is how they're defining it.
Uh-huh.
So it's like that what?
Doing your
Yeah.
job description
It's quiet quitting.
should
It's
never
quiet
be
quitting.
seen as a bad thing.
Well, it is because you're not doing more than that.
You're not doing more than what I'm paying you
Yeah,
for.
fuck that shit.
Yeah, back in my day, people used to trade labor for compliments and the hope that one day they might actually be rewarded monetarily.
It's
So,
true. It's true. It's true.
Can we get back to that?
I have
what?
never understood the like go above and beyond. No. I can show you that I'm good at my job.
Mm-hmm.
But good at my job doesn't mean I do other people's jobs.
Right.
No, you need to do other people's jobs so that maybe you can also have their job.
Yeah, right. Because then we can fire them, and it'll just be you. You'll do both jobs, and we'll pay you the same.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
W.
And will not give you a raise.
Well, you're a company man, right? Would you want to hurt the company? That's crazy.
Come on, man. Get it. Like maybe we'll give you a pat on the
$5.
back and like
Nah.
a company cup if you get like a
you
tattoo of
go.
our logo. You know.
They're
Okay.
fucking even calling this the anti-work movement.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And they're defining it as anti-work, and they are saying this is what it means. Like, you're not even leaning into your own description. Like, good try.
Your company doesn't fucking exist if I don't show up.
Right.
If all these people don't come to work, your company doesn't exist. So fuck off.
It's not even quiet quitting. It's wage theft.
Yeah.
Right? That's what it is. You want me to work for free, and that's illegal. Get fucked.
No. That's not legal. That's standard. That's every company.
Right, that's the
does, you know?
expectation. That's the norm. That's the norm. Come on, man. What are you
Why
gonna do?
get a job if you're not doing more people's jobs?
That's true. It's just like, I feel like, because the people who are like, I'm going to show up early and stay late, it's like they are the temporarily embarrassed millionaires, right? They're the people who are like, I'm going to be in the club one day, and that fucking, when I'm the capital owner, these motherfuckers better be busting their ass for me.
It's true. It's true.
I hate them. I hate them so much.
Same.
Okay. I'm sorry. I need to find another tweet in this thread that I need to be extremely mad at. 51% of Gen Z Americans feel unprepared for a potential recession. 44% of millennials and Gen Xers feel the same. Only 35% of boomers share the same sentiment. Maybe because they fucking killed the economy and took shit.
Oh, well, I don't know. Are my 8 houses gonna survive?
I don't want to lose one of my 8 houses.
Maybe because when they went to college, it was cheap or free.
Nah, I worked hard. I pushed a broom fucking for 30 years, and now I have 10 houses. That could be you. You just got to invent a time machine, go back 80 years, and then
you know how long I worked my minimum wage job making $325 to pay for my $100 house?
Facts, fucking facts. My 5,000 square foot ranch home, like goddamn.
I traded a whole horse for this house.
Not the horse. It was for $5 million.
Like,
it's not real. It's not a thing. This is more capitalist propaganda.
Also, this is a thing that every like news quote unquote place does. But the hilarity to me always of backing up your point with other articles from your organization.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let me cite my own self as a source. I'm a great source, I swear.
I swear, my opinion on this has been consistent.
Yeah, ask me. I'll tell you. I'm the best source.
Fuck off all the way to just...
Yeah. It's not real. It's not a thing. If an employer ever told me I was quiet quitting, I'd tell them to get fucked. Like, that's insane. On the opposite side of that spectrum, Big W is during COVID, thousands of Google's cafeteria workers quietly unionized.
W.
Way to go.
That's based. Yeah, that's fantastic. And apparently most of them are like actually contractors too, which is like, I think, an additional hurdle.
That makes sense.
In trying to be unionized. But that's great.
You're not an employee of the company.
Exactly.
So essentially what you would have to do is form a union, and then your union would have to have a contract with the company. Like, not in the same way that that's just a thing of how unions work, but like you would have to be like this association that the company contracts. So it's a big hurdle because they could just be like, well, we're not working with you anymore.
Right.
Because
Well, and so like it seems that they have not said that yet, which is good
yeah,
in this
That's
case.
the thing.
Um,
Like, corporations should not be allowed to contract,
no.
especially as much as they do.
So
Right.
like, yeah,
They
like
should have to fully employ people.
Correct.
one of the
Because
biggest
it's
things
literally
that-
just a way to skate around things like benefits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a cost saving measure, 1000%.
yeah,
And
one of
it
the
is
big things when
fucking
Nintendo
gross.
had that whole like the people that they contract for QA
Mhm.
were a terrible company. Is like
Yep.
the thing that I feel like people didn't talk about enough in that is like,
Why are they contracted?
why the fuck are they contracting these
Yeah.
people? Like the people
Yeah.
that are like, oh well, they work 9 months and then they have to have 2 months off before they can work 9 months again. It's like, yes, because they're avoiding having full-time employees, but having full-time employees.
Yep.
Like
Having your cake and eating it too.
that's bullshit. Nintendo can afford
Yep.
to have on-staff QA. They do.
I was
can
going to say,
afford
they
to have
literally
more.
do. Yeah, they literally do.
Like that's fucking Treehouse's job.
Yeah,
Make
well,
them bigger.
Their job is localization, but they do a little bit. That's them having more jobs than what is their job.
Yeah, they fired the QA team and we're like, Treehouse will do this.
Yeah, they're like localizing the video game, but they'll make sure level 3 works. Like,
Mhm.
I'm sure they fill out bug reports.
they definitely do. For
Like,
sure they do.
There's no way they don't. Just make that official and pay them more and give them more employees.
Yeah.
I just wanted to mention that in this article, it goes on to mention that cafeteria workers at Google have already seen significant benefits since joining Unite here. According to the Post, the average unionized worker at a Google cafeteria makes $24 an hour, pays little to nothing for health insurance, and has access to a pension plan. By contrast, the Sodexo workers in Atlanta make $15 an hour and can spend hundreds on health insurance. Unions help.
Yeah. Unions are great.
True.
Forget quiet quitting. We need to talk about quiet fleecing. Workers are more productive than ever, but their pay hasn't kept the pace with the top 1% of wages. Okay, I was really worried about the beginning of this tweet.
No, this is a good
and
one.
now I fully endorse.
Yeah, it just really shows how much more productive workers have become while our pay has become completely stagnated.
Mm-hmm.
I have a great example of this. So Starbucks, because of the unionization, decided to finally give everyone that works for them raises. Substantial ones. But store managers are being told to keep their labor percentage the same.
Oh my God.
So they haven't drastically raised the price of their menu items, which they don't need to do because there's plenty of overhead. My store was like a 50% profit organization. Like 50% of the money that came in, profit.
Insane.
That's huge, yeah.
So store managers are still keeping their labor around. Mine was anywhere between 16 to 20%, depending on how much I was just like, fuck you, I'm spending money. They would have preferred 16. So if they haven't drastically raised the prices, that 16% is going to mean less people if you're paying people more. So they gave these people all raises, and now they are literally getting less help on the floor. Like,
yeah, it's shitty.
Yep.
It's cutting your nose to spite your face too.
Yeah.
Because all you're doing is making your employees pissed off.
Absolutely. But
It's
I mean,
like, oh, you wanted better working conditions? We'll just close. Get fucked.
yeah, at this point
Cool.
it's also an anti-union tactic by them. Like,
100%.
They're there to, they're doing these things to make the union people leave.
Right.
So insane. But yeah, the top 1% have all of the money,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just okay to not pay people. there are countries that have caps on CEOs. Like a CEO can only make X amount of % times their base employee, which is still a lot of money when you're talking about like 32 times.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like still an insane amount of money. We don't have anything
But
like
not
that.
enough.
And we
Not enough,
absolutely
Alec.
should.
No, I need billions of theoretical dollars in the theoretical banks and digitally.
True.
Because if I don't, somebody else might. And then they've got a bigger dick. That's what that means.
Yo, if they made up money, and then I made up something that is good at getting the thing that we made up, I should be rewarded with more made up money.
More made up. Just saying. I
Just
want more
saying.
ones and zeros.
I made it up.
Earned it. That's facts. Or you might have stolen it too. That's also.
It's true. It's true. It's true.
We don't
But
have to.
that was work.
Nah.
You know, it was hard for me to do that as well.
That's true. You had to come up with how to steal it. You had to figure that part out.
It's true. It's true.
That's work. You got to be rewarded, man. Pull
That's a
yourself
fact.
up
And
like
then
a
I gotta
douchebag.
figure out how to market the fact that I stole it, but I didn't steal it. You know,
Right.
That's,
You gotta let the
You
people
just
know.
gotta make sure your team's calendar looks full enough that you look like you're working.
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
Fucking Lamau. Country sucks, man. Fuck it here. I hate it.
Yeah.
Find the best job that you can tolerate and
Mhm.
do what is asked of you in your job description.
Nothing more.
And no more.
I can't
And-
speak on this.
Yeah, well, AJ self-employed. It's a little different.
Also, follow whatever her name is that's on TikTok that literally just makes TikToks that are this, but sketches, and they're hilarious. And I'll link at some point because it's amazing.
Do it.
That's it. We rapid fired.
We got tweet of the week.
I know, but that's not a real it's not.
The rough stuff is done. We're done.
I mean, we
fuck
made
the
it-
queen.
Yeah, fuck the queen
Facts.
and Donald
She
Trump.
deserves it.
Yeah, him too.
You know, honestly, worse off for the ground that we walk on that she has to occupy it now. But
I mean,
um,
it would be super cool if they just
evaporated.
waxed
And-
her,
Wash her ass. Yeah.
put her in a
Yeah.
glass case for all the weirdos to look at.
Nah, that would be hella weird.
Yeah, it'd be super weird.
Yeah, but charge them a lot and they'll still do it.
Nah.
Okay, so we got a good tweet. I guess.
I guess. Wow.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. This is a good tweet.
Look at it. It's a Charizard.
Like,
Mm.
imagine not having fireworks and instead just having a drone show like this. This shit is intense.
Well, and so the other thing I was trying to think of why fireworks would be more dependable or something like that than this, but the only things that I can think of that would really fuck up your ability to do one of these would also screw up fireworks. Like if it's too windy of a day, you can't have
Right.
fireworks either.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. This is exponentially more safe and less intrusive to animals,
That
wildlife, veterans, pets, everything like that.
Yeah.
And it's sick, dude.
it is way cooler.
Imagine you're fucking outside and you look up and there's just a fucking life-size Rayquaza up there. That'd be hype.
That's a fact.
If Disney isn't already actively working on this
Trying to steal
Oh,
to
they-
replace their fireworks
Trying to
shows at
steal
all their
this,
parks.
exactly. If Disney isn't actively doing the thing we just talked about, then they're not trying hard enough.
No, because think it's great on so many levels. They could just do characters instead of
Facts.
friggin' fireworks, and then they could be like,
No,
"We're
they
green!"
can kind of do Mickey Mouse with fireworks a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah,
They
that's
can
about
do
it.
the three.
Yeah.
Minnie's
That's the
even
thing, yeah, if they
a
did this at,
layer of difficulty a
Disneyland-
little too much
This would be way cooler of a Disneyland experience
Yeah.
than fireworks.
than the fireworks show.
It's true. They want to raise the price though. Got to pay for those drones.
That's
yeah.
true. I wonder how many drones that is, because there's a lot.
There's a lot of drones.
That's mad drones.
That's so many drones.
Yo, that's a pixel count, but drones.
Fucking love now. That's 1080 by
Do you think that-
1920 or
You think that's more pixels than the game?
Yeah, what's the PPI on that?
yeah, it's 300 PPI probably. That Charizard is sick. Like the way that this just works is so fucking cool. Plus you could like tell a whole story.
True. Good.
Because like Pokemon has done shit like that before with like kind of just showing images, you know, and then like with like some narration over it. Like that's sick.
It's pretty dope.
And then like too, you wouldn't have to worry about animals and fucking wildlife.
Yeah.
True.
That's it. We did it.
That's the podcast.
We did it. We did the podcast. I'm gonna hit stop recording. No, I'm not gonna hit stop recording. I'm gonna hit thank you.
Say the outro.
Did you update the outro?
No.
So the outro is gonna make me repeat things.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Like, comment,
fucking
subscribe.
YouTubes.
YouTube. Where's the?
True.